What was that?
Mr.
What was that?
Corleone's here.
Hey, what's up, Corleone?
Yo, I'm here.
No, you're live, by the way.
I thought you weren't making it because of yeast infection. Just joking. All right, guys, we are live. This is the Irish Podcast, episode 49. We're going to start talking some game in a second, but first we're going to have everybody introduce themselves. You know who I am. I'm the Titanfall Princess. Okay, let's start off with Fatal. Go ahead, introduce yourself.
Right when I had my mouth full. What up, guys? I'm your boy, Fatal Mephisto. Thanks for having me again, as per usual. Looking forward to doing this show.
Should have ate first and then said that shit sound nasty.
I'm sorry.
All right, Rambo, go ahead. All right, he's on mute. All right, Mr. Corleone, go ahead.
What's going on, everybody? Glad to be back. Ready to talk these games and chop it up with everybody. Hope everybody's good.
I'm here now.
Okay. Next up, we got Frozen. Go ahead.
Glad to be here. I'm back on YouTube. I've been away, so I'm back.
Yeah, unfortunately, he wasn't feeling well. Next up, we got Craig Harris.
Hey, what's happening? Fresh back from Wakanda. I'm ready to talk some games. What's going on?
T'Challa.
We're going to have a special guest tonight, and he's going to run a couple minutes late, but he's going to be here.
I'm here now.
But it's going to... Huh?
Oh, I was letting you know I was here now. I was trying to talk to you.
All right, introduce yourself, Rambo. Yeah. I tried to get you introduced.
Everybody knows me, I'm Rambo, but if you want to follow me on Twitter, definitely do, because I'm going to be starting to be doing some uploads and some...
You're very low.
Stuff. Oh, shit. Am I really?
Yes.
Well, you kind of sound like far away, like you.
Better. Well, he's at the store, so.
Yeah, I'm in the food court of all places, so it's actually one of the worst places to be doing this. But y'all can follow me on Twitter, because I'm gonna be start doing some let's plays and trophy walkthroughs and stuff. So y'all can be hitting me up there to maybe put a request in or something like that for it. So.
Sounds good. I don't know if you heard. We're gonna have a special guest. He should be here in a few minutes.
Yeah, I think he just popped in.
Did somebody just pop in?
Yo, can y'all hear me?
Yo, my boy Jabari in the house.
Hey, is that Jabari?
What's up? Oh, yeah, what's up? How you guys doing?
Hey, everybody, we got Jabari in the house.
What's going on, fam?
We got Jabari. Jabari, introduce yourself.
What's good, guys? It's your boy Jay Barry. Appreciate the invite. You know, it's always good to talk to you guys. I'll always see you guys on YouTube and Twitter and all that. But I won't be on here too long, but, you know, just here to, you know, converse with you guys and hang out, man.
Well, we only got 3 subjects. Not going to be super, super crazy. So let everybody know, when's your next tournament to come watch?
Actually, the next tournament is at 9 p.m. Eastern time today. We're doing Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite, the final small light version tournament, the Reality Stone tournament. It's not going to be a long one, but it's going to be a good one, because there's a lot of good players that usually come through to these tournaments.
Well, I just want everybody to know, if you get a chance, go check it out. I was on Plus on Block podcast Tuesday with Dre and Upchuck, and we had a blast. The end of that, we were laughing so hard. Poor Chuck couldn't even breathe no more. We had a blast. If you guys get a chance that are watching, go check that out, because it was funny. We had a blast.
Sign
we
up
really
for
did.
Tournaments, guys. They do good tournaments, man. Sign up.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely sign up, man. You know, it doesn't matter about skill level. It's come through.
Just have fun, man. I lose every time, but I still sign up, man.
Yeah, Frozen is a prominent member. Yeah, Frozen sign up for like every tournament. You know what I mean? So
yeah, he does. Yes, he does. I try to get there, but sometimes shit. Cool.
I would sign up myself, Jay Barry, but I don't feel like getting my ass embarrassed.
Hey man, yo, I get my ass beat a lot, man. You know, hosting and playing is kind of difficult. It's harder than people think, but you know, it's still just fun to just, you know, it's a community that you meet. You meet a whole bunch of different people that is not even in this YouTube bubble that we in, you know, the normal people that we communicate with. So it's always good to, you know, get other people outside of the bubble that we in, and play games with people like that. You know what I mean? So it's cool.
Yeah, it is fun. You do meet a lot of people in those tournaments, like he said, that are not YouTubers. They're just gamers, and it's nice. You meet some, and you become friends with some other people that you could just game with, which is nice.
Plus, he's doing something nice for the community on top of that too. So that also is another factor.
Yeah, man.
Yes.
Tonight we giving away Xbox Live year voucher, man. So anybody can, if you just come through and type something in, you're gonna be in the running for the giveaway. So
okay,
if you guys want a year Xbox Live, come on through. If it's possible you can win.
Hey, not a bad deal. Not a bad deal. Okay, let's move on to our first subject, which is okay. Once again, it's another situation where video games meet politics, which I can't stand. Okay, video games once again were recently blamed for violence. Also, movies were blamed for it as well. But I have to say that I find it insulting. This is as bad as back then when Mortal Kombat was blamed for violence. Personally, a video game has never made me violent or want to hurt anybody. Okay, and in fact, video games has actually helped me when somebody pissed me off during the day. Instead of knocking them out and going to jail, I come home and pretend I see their face and beat them up on a video game. So it's the opposite effect, which I don't know why they're saying this. But anyway, I also hate the fact when there's someone in politics talks video games, they really don't know anything about them. They don't play them. They've never played them. They've probably never seen anything about them. Okay. We have all kinds of video games out there now. We have all types of non-violent video games out there as well. And now there's talk about mature video games will be taxed in some states, extra tax, higher tax. Okay. So what are your thoughts? With this being said, what are your thoughts about this issue, guys, and about having to pay extra taxes in order to get a game that may have some gore, some blood, shooting, whatever, fighting, or whatever in it? What are you guys' thoughts on this? Go ahead.
I guess, a lot of people are freaking out about this, but I don't know. This has happened the past 4 or 5 administrations, and it happened with Obama, it happened with Bush and all them before that. It's a reactionary thing. There's always a fringe element between some of the Democrats and some of the Republicans that seem to want to blame something, and violence that people see is always an easy target. It's not going to go anywhere. These states that are threatening new taxes and stuff like that, it's not gonna happen. The video game department they would actually have to rule the Supreme Court. They would have to overrule the Supreme Court. So that basically would have to go to the Supreme Court and then have them reverse their decision, because it's already last with Obama, it went all the way to the Supreme Court, and the Supreme Court ruled that video games and movies are protected free speech, and so nobody can actually ban them or do anything like that with them. So in order for them to do that, there's gonna be a lot of loopholes that's just not going to happen. And so it's just reactionary crap, and it's just something to distract and everything like that. I wouldn't worry about it. It's unfortunate that people are ignorant, but at the same time is that, people that don't game or don't go to, see a lot of movies or whatever, don't really understand that they have really no impact. They hear something and they're like, oh, okay, well, that makes sense. Because they're not used to that. They're not used to that exposure to these video games or anything like that to understand if, they would have any sort of correlation with violence. But they really don't. So it's just going to be another smoke being blown and then go over.
Basically, the government want a piece of that money. They see that video games are number one. They over movies. They're the number one entertainment factor right now. So they want a piece of that bread. They want a piece of that pie, and they keep going for it. And then they have these violent attacks, and they have these different situations that go on in America, and then they use that to catapult that agenda. So it's just, we got to stand up, just like gamers stood up for the fucking the Star Wars joint. We got to stand up for that. You know what I'm saying? Because it's like, if they try to attack it, are we just gonna let them tax us or whatever? If we stand up and we say no and we speak up, then we can help that situation. But if we just sit back and just let it go as it goes, then eventually they're gonna get what they want. You know what I'm saying? Because this government is persistent and they want some cheese. They see the bread that video games are making. It's $1 billion business, and they want some of it. But I digress.
I blame the parents. If they should really kind of keep an eye on what their children are playing in a way. If you have a mental illness, man, like yes, playing games can be helpful, but some people need to really keep an eye on their kids, man.
Yeah, but ain't nobody playing no games.
But wait a minute. Yeah, wait a minute.
Creating no crimes.
That makes no sense. I mean, because they've actually done studies. There is absolutely zero proof that any kid playing a Call of Duty or any of those violent video games at a young age does anything to them.
No, I'm not. I didn't mean it like that, Rambo. I meant
but I mean, why would the parents need to watch what their kids play?
I mean, it has
no effect on them.
Not in that. I've worded it wrong.
Okay.
Kids with a mental illness and parents want to blame video games in a way. I feel like parents are trying to blame gaming in a way when they don't really know what's going on. You know what I mean?
Man, they don't have a touch with their kids. First of all,
yeah, that's what I mean. They don't. Yeah, really, I think it's. That's what I'm trying. I'm all over the place.
The moral of the story on what you're trying to say is more like watch the mental illness, because mental illness is really the key factor in most of these violent encounters. And so, I mean, obviously, if you have a special needs kid, you would keep a little bit closer tabs on them, I would think. But unfortunately, I mean, in today's world, parenting has become non-existent.
That's what I meant to say. You got it. That's what I meant to
say. Parents want to be best friends.
Here's another flip side of that too, right? Parents, while they're not doing a very good job of actually maintaining their child or kid or whoever it is, and it's not just also people too as well that also have like symptoms or whatever the case may be. The problem is that what parents do is that they blame what their kids are actually formerly addicted to or obsessive with. We heard it before with music when it comes to like Marilyn Manson, for example. He got blamed for the Columbine stuff. Video game thing has been going on ever since Columbine shit way back when. And the thing of it is that parents don't want to take the responsibility to own up to the fact that it's their own kid that's doing this crap. So what do? They pick the closest thing that's next to that child or that kid, that being video games, music, or hell, even movies. Even though I don't recall hearing something in relation to any of this crap being involved with movies, even though I think movies is a depiction that's way worse, in my opinion, especially if you watch movies like Reservoir Dogs. But at the end of the day, parents just never want to own up to the fact that their kid is just fucked. You know what I mean? Why would they? Even though they're supposed to, they should technically be doing that crap of that, but they don't want to. They don't want to feel bad. You know what I mean? That they have a kid that went off and shut up a school or whatever the case may be. So they have to blame it on something else. And video games right now is the hot topic going on in this era. So they're going to sit there and blame it on that. Which to me is fucking bullshit.
Unfortunately, there's a lot of reaction. I mean, it's every time there's a shooting, it's reactionary, whether it be blaming guns, blaming video games, blaming movies, blaming music. We never actually want to blame the individual. And
exactly.
That's the downside that where we're at with society in general. But I think that, like I said, I think it'll just all blow over. I think it's just bringing things to light. I probably will actually make gaming a lot more popular too.
Has anyone actually came out and said, "Listen, I did it, and it was on me. I'm not blaming any"? Has anyone ever did that?
Not that I'm aware of. Not that I'm aware of, because most of the people that actually do it actually wind up killing themselves at the same token. So you're not going to get a confession. Some of them kill themselves.
Well, yeah, they also
process.
They also want to blame something else too, because then they think that if I can blame video games or I can blame my music that I listen to or another kid at school, then I can take less responsibility. So, I mean, that's the unfortunate thing is there's so many people quick to pass blame on anything just so that way they can get the responsibility off themselves.
Yeah, it happened it's been happening. Somebody said in the chat earlier, it happened in the 50s and 60s with comic books. It was like the juvenile delinquents were reading comic books. You had the big thing with Mass Effect, the original Mass Effect with the sex scene. There was a big uproar about that. And Jeff Keighley, whatever his name is, went on CNN and put somebody in check over that. You had a game like Night Trap. I think that was back in the early 90s. That was big time. That was supposed to be all violent. So, these people are looking for something to blame, and it's deflection. There was I saw a town hall meeting earlier this week, and I saw some people talking to some other people, just really talking at them, and so it's just reactionary, and so I agree. It's been going on. It's going to keep going on. I don't think it'll go anywhere. It's just I really feel like they're trying to distract people and say, "Oh no, let's talk about this." When don't keep your eye on the prize. So have to wait and see. But I don't think anything will come out.
Another thing is when at the end of the day, like, we all play games to escape reality. That's the whole point of it. You know what I mean? But a lot of people not so much the console war shit, which is entirely different. But when it comes to, like, at least for me, like, gaming is like, makes me ignore the things that's going on in the real life world. That's why I game. That's why a lot of people game. You know what I mean? Like, but at the same time, like, I take things to a whole new level when it comes to that aspect. Like, I wonder to myself, like, hey, you know what? What if this was our real life world? You know what I mean? Like, say you're playing a Japanese RPG or just something along the lines of that. It's like, man, what if this was our real life world? How would this be? How would it go down? How would I be able to control this crap? That's what gaming's there for me, at least for me anyways. And I know a lot of people can actually relate to that too as well. But to blame fucking violence on video games, dude, is ludicrous. Because like Rambo said, there's no evidence that actually shows or proves of any of that nature reacting to real life violence in video games. It's fucking garbage, man. It's stupid.
Yeah.
I agree with everything you guys said. And Jabari, do you have anything to say on this matter? You quiet over there.
What's that?
Do you have anything to say on this?
I agree. I agree with what everybody's saying. I do think it's a hunk of crap that they will blame video games, because that's what it is. Everybody's looking for the blame. They got to put the blame on something, instead of blaming the actual kid and his personal issues. Not to go too in depth, but this kid had his parents died, depression, all that stuff, showing signs of everything. But I haven't seen anything as far as video games and all the background searches that they were doing with his kid. You know what I mean? From the news I was watching. But for some strange reason, video games get brought up into it again. Even everybody in here is seasoned gamers, been gaming for years. I doubt that, we ever, you might have mimicked some type of stuff in video games, playing with your friends and stuff like that, but you never really thought of it. So, the things I'm doing in Call of Duty, or the things that I'm doing in this game, or Street Fighter, I really want to go in a Hadouken somebody in the chest when I'm fighting. You're not doing that. You know what I mean? So it's just crazy for them to constantly blame video games. I think video games is more of like a stress reliever than something that would be mimicked. In something so tragic like a massacre like that. So
I agree.
It's crazy,
like I said,
you're
right about a stress reliever, because that's what I use it for. If I'm stressed, I come home and I'll put in a fighting game, or I'll put in something and I'll fight and get my aggression out. And then, like, within 10 minutes, whatever happened is gone. It's just gone. I'm stress free. I'm relieved. I'm fine. So Jabari, you hit on nail. It's stress relief.
I mean, just to add to it, I mean, even kind of more, I guess, insult to injury with the whole blaming video games is that I'm a proud video gamer for over 30 years. And I'm also a proud gun owner ever since I was turned the age of 18. And I have yet to actually ever do anything. So not really, there's really no correlation between the two. It's just kind of stupid. It's like, I mean, it's just, I mean, I find it just as asinine as blaming guns for the cause of the violence whenever, I mean, violence happened long before guns, long before video games. It'll happen long after, video games, long after guns or whatever. Like,
guns just don't shoot people. A person has to hold the gun.
Yeah, what were they blaming the bow and arrow?
Amen.
They blaming the spear.
Exactly. I mean, violence is just there. It's in the nature of a certain human, and you can't control it. Like, no matter what you do, you have to do your best to be able to try to prevent it. But at the same time, is like a violent person will find a way to be violent no matter what they have in their, ingested into their system as far as video, like entertainment wise. I mean, this person could be watching Little House on the Prairie every day and still go out and commit a mass murder.
Shit, dude, hell yeah. Hell yeah, dude. And plus, keep in mind, every single human person on our planet, man, has different wiring for their brains. So,
exactly.
You know what I mean? And that's one that you got to take into an account. So sitting there pointing the blame at something that's vastly popular, that so many people in our daily lives use, whether it be mobile, console, PC, whatever, just, oh God, it pisses me off, dude, man, because you're ruining my fucking hobby.
I'm tired of Michael London. I'm going to kill somebody.
Like, watch Touched by an Angel and go out and commit mass murder. I mean, like, does that mean like the
I used to watch that
shows,
show.
like religious shows, are going to be the cost of mass murder?
Well, exactly.
I mean, come on, it's just ignorance.
Let me tell you something. I remember as a kid, if any of us came home and said, you know, such a so-and-so down the street said something or did something, my mother, before she smack you, she'd say, well, if they jumped off the goddamn bridge into rapid waters, would you? No, Mom. Well, then why are you asking me to do something that just because they don't have parents that care, I care. You don't ever come to my house and ever ask me some dumb shit like that again. And then she'd still rap you one just for asking, even though she checked you.
And it's a game.
Unfortunately, we've devolved from the nuclear family so much that our parents these days are. You'll see it when you're out and about with like your family or whatever, and you're just walking around the mall or in a Walmart. You'll see parents being best friends with their kids rather than actually being a parent, and it's because we're afraid to, like, as a society, hurt another person's feelings or to be seen as the quote unquote mean guy. So we do everything we can as a society to try to make sure everybody's life is as kosher as possible. And whenever these kids actually have to face a real world disappointment or real world feelings, then they end up like reacting in this way. I mean, like these kids do not know how to actually handle disappointment anymore.
You know why? But you know why? And we're not going to get into the subject. I'm just going to name one thing. Yeah. You find out because I have nieces and nephews who said they came to the school. You got, the child care services, whatever it is, diapers or whatever you call it. They like to come to the school and say, if your parents correct you, yell at you, or discipline you in any way, you call us and we'll do something about it. So parents are afraid nowadays to discipline them. And I blame it more on that also than anything else.
And the kids are fighting back. They're fighting their parents.
Here, let me give you an example.
Yeah.
Like going through high school for me was rather rough because I got bullied on a lot because of my weight and shit like that. Did I go to my school and fucking shoot up, whatever you want to call it, because I couldn't withstand the bullying? No, I just dropped out and left. That's all I did. But I didn't sit there and act out in violence. I didn't beat up any kids in the schoolyard or in fucking stuff them in lockers, whatever you want to call it. No, man. I know how to control my shit. And parents, but at the same time, my mom taught me how to do that. You know what I mean?
Because I had to fight. If you talk about me, I'll whoop your ass. You know what I'm saying? And you had to fight me. And if I lose, you had to fight me the next day. But it's a different type of way of living that people are nowadays. You know what I'm saying? So it's not
bad. Nowadays.
You gotta look at it. A lot of people be teasing too. You know what I'm saying? So you gotta look at that. But at the same time, I was taught if motherfucker tease me, bust they motherfucker head, and they ain't gonna tease you no more. You gotta stand up for yourself. So a lot of times, parents gotta be more in tune with their kids. Stop trying to be buddy with them, and put your foot down. You know what I'm saying?
It's worse. It's worse these times now, though. It's way worse.
Yeah. My nephew, I'd be wanting to slap the shit out of him. You know what I'm saying? I'd be like, man, you got too much leeway. You know what I'm saying? You got too much leeway. You ain't gonna hang with me and be talking to me like that. I put my foot in your ass.
Did you say fool?
Ain't no talk. I just gonna use my hands. I'm gonna just use my hand. But
yeah, I give them the look.
That's the way my brother is. My brother said, "Listen, you want to talk that shit to me? I'll smack the shit out your ass.
It's
anybody you want, and I'll smack the shit out you in front of them too. And then before I'm done, I'll smack them too."
And it's also funny too as well because ever since when they put in that rule where you're not allowed to spank your own kid, because like back when I was a kid, dude, and I got spanked, I never did that fucking thing ever again, bro.
Yep. I know what you're talking about. Ass whooping time. Yep.
Yo, listen, I'm from Jamaica,
it's
right?
Well-deserved.
I was born and raised in Jamaica. When I got in trouble in school, the person that picked me up, they beat my ass. They tell my parents, and then when my parents get home, I get my ass beat from the. So that keeps you in line, man. These kids nowadays, they just do whatever because everybody's so scared to discipline a kid or something like that, or they don't know how to. And these kids is like, oh, you know what? Things like this is happening, because they feel like they can just do whatever they want.
But see,
they got rights.
The only reason why I brought this up is because that's one of the prime problems when it comes to violence and other shit that's going on. Is not video games. Yeah. There are a lot of video games that keep kids in the house, in especially underprivileged areas. It keeps them in the house so they're not in the street doing dumb shit.
Some games,
facts.
Some games teach lessons. Like some games actually teach lessons.
Yo, fact, Frozen, you can use video games as a punishment too. Have if they act up, have that person play an Xbox One exclusive. You know what I mean?
Cheap shots, man. Cheap fucking shots, J Barry. Come on, bro. That's a low fucking blow, bro. If I were to take that fucking approach, dude, man, like J Barry just said, fuck that. I'll make my kid fucking play like Black Tiger. Fuck that kid. That's way worse than any game, period.
You want to play? When I tell you to take out the garbage, now you got to play Sea of Thieves all weekend.
Hey, yo, first of all, if my parents disciplined me that that was their game of choice, I would have been like, let's go. I would fucking do it for a month.
Acting up every day.
Yo, ground me for a month. I'll play this for a whole entire month, and I'll love it.
My bad, guys. You know I had to do my little Xbox shot.
Of course, dude. Jabari, yeah, of course.
Jabari, we know you have to be Jabari. If you didn't come here and be Jabari, I'd been disappointed.
Yeah, I would unfriend you from Twitter, dude.
It's just jokes because somebody's gonna be hurt. Somebody's gonna be hurt. So I gotta let them know.
Well, somebody's probably gonna tweet you in a little bit. And
they will. They will. No, that shit was fucking funny though.
Or report me on Facebook.
Exclusive. That's bad, dude. That's a low blow.
but you guys at least understand what I'm saying. It has nothing to do with video games. It has to do with society and how the government's trying to run how you raise your children even. And that's where the issue is. It has nothing to do with video games. Because there are a lot of people I've spoken to that said, hey, when I was a kid, there was all this shit going on outside, but video games kept me in a house, kept me safe and out of trouble. I was able to go to school, get a good job, get a good education, and I could still play my video games. I'm alive.
Yeah. And I'm really glad that you said that, Titan, because my brother took the opposite path of me. I stayed home. I was the one that was like that geeky nerd back in the day when being called a nerd was considered a horrible thing to be called. Mm-hmm. My brother took that path of like drugs and alcohol and whatever the case would be, and started doing all like that stuff and hanging out with people that, that I would not want to hang out, associate myself with. So he took that path. And I'm glad that gaming kept me on that right path, because if I was not gaming as much as I was back in the day when I was a kid, I probably would have ended up being just like him today. And I'm so blessed that I'm not.
But see, there's a lot of people, if they go out there and listen, when people talk, there are a lot of people saying the same thing, and they're blaming the violence on it. No, the video games actually saves people's lives. They're not getting it.
Yeah. I mean, it's just a mental problem of all sorts of things. You know what I mean?
Everybody, that's Jordan Dizzle.
What's up, Jordan?
Yes.
G Dizzle.
What's up,
man?
Yo, plus video games can save relationships, man, because you ain't out there in the club and you know what I mean, you home, so shorty know where you at. You know what I mean?
Do you see kids going out actively trying to seek if Pokemon exist in real life?
No.
Are they? Do you still like going out there and finding a squirrel and trying to squish that in a little bubble gum?
Unless they're playing Pokemon Go, though.
No, man.
You know what's crazy? You know what's crazy about this? There's so much gaming conventions that bring gamers together, and you don't really hear too much like of a mass shooter. I don't know. I haven't heard anything like that. Somebody coming into E3 or this show,
right?
Whatever other
like that.
Gamescom or something, the mass shooting. Gamers, when they come together, everybody's like more on a, yo, you're a gamer? Wow, yo, what's up, man? You know what I'm saying? Like, it's a much different how they're trying to pervade gamers to be and how a video game can turn somebody is just crazy to me.
If anything,
the media, man, we can't be letting them with the narrative, man. They play the narrative anyway. We ain't gonna sit up here and act like this motherfucking government and shit don't be playing the American people for a fucking fool anyway. You know what I'm saying? So all this shit that they be doing, they play the narrative and they control the narrative, and it's like, okay, yeah, video games is the problem. And motherfuckers, you know what I'm saying, know that video games save lives. You know what I'm saying? All the points that everybody making is 100. But don't be fooled that this government want a piece of that fucking pie. Because they see how much money it's making. And they know, you know what I'm saying, that, man, we need a piece of this.
That's why you see the whole tax
microtransaction, dude. The microtransactions
you know what? Listen,
bringing so
they
much
get they get enough damn taxes. They don't need no goddamn more money. All right, they're taxed out the ass to begin with. They tax you. They tax you with you know put it this way. Let's see. They tax you at your paycheck. How many times? Okay, state and federal. Then you get property tax if you have property. Then you get food tax or clothes tax or this tax that. Come on, tax on buying a car, tax on this, tax on that. You got taxes on getting your internet, taxes on your phone, you know, taxes on everything.
Facts.
Your cell phone, your house phone, you know, if you still have one, all those things. You got tax on everything.
The YouTube money taxed.
That's tax, but you get what I'm saying. You're taxed on everything.
Tax.
And
they want more money. You know what the problem is that they're misappropriating the funds and not doing what they're supposed to do, and then they're putting it down on us. Just like the rich. I'm not going to get into this. I'm just going to say this, and then we're going to get off the subject because this could be a whole nother topic, and I don't want to piss off Corleone because when we get into politics, he gets a little annoyed. But
we've been talking.
I know, but no. A couple things I brought up. You got annoyed. You left. But what I'm saying is, they will tax the shit out of lower class and middle class people, but the rich, their taxes are like 2%. You're making billions of dollars and you got 2% tax. Get the fuck out of here with that shit. You know, I mean, come on. Go ahead, Jordan.
Oh yeah, I can go into a whole can of worms with this whole tax joint, man.
But that's what I'm saying. That's a topic for another.
Is there somebody else in here? Sound like a little girl in here or something? No disrespect.
No, it's Jordan. That's Jordan Dizzle.
Oh, okay. What's going on? I'm like, what the fuck am I hearing?
No, that's Jordan.
Okay, what up?
Yeah, it's me.
My bad.
Oh, it's okay. It's all right. I get that a lot sometimes. But yeah, definitely. I mean, politics should stay out of video games, period. Because I mean, it's stupid how the media blames video games constantly. I mean, this has happened over years and years and years and years and years and years and years. And it's never the problem. It's just that it's discipline and mental issues.
But to me, sometimes it's not always mental issues because I know a lot of people who are disabled, okay, and do have some mental issues, but they're not going out there shooting up nobody.
No, I'm just, I'm just a guy who plays.
Jordan's chilling at home playing Pokemon, man.
Yeah, I'm just.
Hell yeah, buddy.
That's the innocent thing, I mean, I play GTA and all that stuff, but does that make me a freaking psychopath? No, not at all. You know what I mean?
But sometimes when I play GTA, I do wish I could smack a motherfucker with that pistol in real life. I ain't gonna lie. But that's just me, because I have.
Yeah, but you don't do it though.
I be wanting to though, but I be like, you be driving down the street, like, man, I wish I could just yank your ass out the motherfucking car. It just
what's up?
You know what I'm saying?
Octavius, real quick, before we move on to the next subject, we were actually talking about how they were blaming video games for the violence in the world. What's your thoughts on that?
Say that again. You were breaking up.
Oh, we were talking about how they were blaming video games for the violence that goes on in the world and want to do extra taxes on.
I think that's the dumbest fucking thing that they could ever fucking go. Sorry for all the cussing. My bad. I forgot I was a kid in here. But yeah, that's
he's not a kitten.
that's stupid. And for them to think that, I mean, all of us on this panel grew up playing those violent video games. I mean, there's violence in all the video games. I don't see why they're just singling out video games when there's violence in cartoons, there's violence in all the movies that they let these kids go and see. So it's just stupid to me. So
well, they did bring up movies, but now that you mention it, there's a lot of violence in some cartoons.
Yeah.
So yeah, I agree with that. I forgot all about the cartoon.
That's an understatement. Definitely there.
Take Pokemon for example. That's animal cruelty.
Never thought of it that way.
I kind of agree with on that point, but it's still kind of fun to me, you know. I mean, it is kind of fucked up, but you know, it's just Pokemon. You know, it's fantasy creatures.
But see, at least he's got it right. It's fantasy. It ain't real.
Yeah.
He got it right. At least he got it right. He can distinguish between what's real and what's fantasy. And that's what people need to understand. If you got a child that can't distinguish that, then they just don't play video games.
Yeah, they shouldn't
be playing. But you got to be a parent. Go ahead. No, go ahead. You there?
Hello?
There you are. There you are. We can hear you now, buddy.
All right, now we can hear you. Go ahead.
Oh, that's all I was saying. That was like they shouldn't be playing in the get-go.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm in a bad area, so if y'all can't hear me or if y'all break up, I'll just re-ask the question.
Okay, sounds good. Let's move on to the next topic. Okay, next topic I got. And I know some people may get crazy because I'm talking about this, but I don't really give a hoot. But anyway, Dice 2018 had Phil Spencer doing a speech. And all right, was that you, Bear?
Oh my God!
Yeah, that was me. Because this is going to be like my 10th time talking about this topic now.
Well, because you do it. You do a million podcasts.
I do.
We don't.
Put it in one word.
Okay.
Yeah, just you know,
Sum it up in one word.
But what really surprised me was that Phil openly gave praise to some PlayStation games and Nintendo games. And I am not sure how that will rub some of the more extreme part of the community. I probably rubbed them the wrong way. He also talked about being against toxic people in the gaming community. To me, I feel like he needs to start in the Xbox community, like people he talks to, because there are a lot of those people in the community damaging the Xbox brand.
Yes.
And these are some of the people that he actually gets in chats with. Okay.
Yeah.
That's where he needs to start. And finally, you have some people who really didn't like his speech at all. Okay. But to the people that watched it, what are your thoughts on Phil Spencer's speech?
I'll go last.
I got something for you.
Okay.
He went full SJW.
He did.
It was pure idiocy to think that, like, whenever he started talking about the Gamescom or the GDC, what's it called, after party in 2016, that he said that was incredibly sexist and everything like that. Well, sorry, but those women were actually paid professional dancers. This is the job that they chose. Not they were never forced there, so it was not sexist at all. Second, whenever he starts talking about inclusivity, I hate this inclusivity thing, because hiring people based on your race or based on your sex or anything like that is almost like the same form of, is actually a form of racism or sexism. Like, you should be able to like, understand diversity means more than just race and gender. It actually just means different life experiences and being able to bring that together. Now, this is going to sound weird, but you can replace this color, the very first color that I'm going to say, with any color that you want. But you can take 3 white guys, one from the United States, one from Europe, and one from Russia, and that team is going to be more diverse than a black woman, a Hispanic man, and a lesbian from the Bronx, because they're bringing that, like, those 3 people, even though they have different race and sex, are from the exact same living area, the exact same thing. But the 3 other people are from different parts of the country, are going to have completely different walks of life. But that just goes to show that, like, diversity means, like, celebrating their differences. That doesn't have to be an actual physical skin difference or a gender difference. just differences in like from where you live and everything like that. And to say that they are going to start hiring and looking to promote teams based on just your gender and your race instead of your actual merits that you bring to the table is, to me, mind-blowing, because you're never going to get like good things coming out of it.
That would explain why a lot of games nowadays suck.
Yeah.
Yes, because a lot of people are starting to do that, like hire based on just your race and your gender and everything like that, instead of actually like based on your merits of what you bring to the table.
It shouldn't be like
look
that.
for the talent.
Hold on, Rambo. I didn't watch it, but you said he had something to say about dancers. One of Microsoft's events last year, they had dancers there.
Yes, that's the reason why. That's the reason why he said it, because somebody actually got mad that he had dancers there, and they took pictures, and they posted them on social media, and they actually fired the person that promoted that event, because they said that is completely insensitive. It was sexist. It's not sexist when you actually hire dancers
They're
that
doing
were
their
actually
job. I don't understand.
Yeah, they're doing exactly. They're doing their fucking job that they're working at.
Sexism would be.
Well, you guys are looking at that wrong. You guys are looking at it all wrong.
But just a second, sexism would be
nope,
where
it was beneath what he wanted out of his employees. Period.
I honestly don't think that you would have ever even seen him say anything had it not turned up to a big social media issue.
Well, it's a big issue because it's Microsoft, and they're $1 billion company.
Yes, but there's nothing wrong with what happened.
Except he didn't like it, and he's your boss. That's it.
Right,
that's enough to get you fired.
What I'm saying is that they've had those parties before with Phil Spencer at the helm. Nothing was ever said because it was never brought up.
Pictures of him there. He was probably there. You know, he was there.
Nothing was ever made a major spectacle by the permanently offended crowd, and that's the reason why it became a thing. The thing is, though, is the only thing that's sexist is if they actually hired a wait crew, a wait staff, and all the women that came in to actually wait on people. They said, no, you're going to be putting on these tights and you're going to be a dancer. That would be sexist. But that's not what happened. These people actually hired people that chose to do this for their profession. That's actually empowering women, not putting them down.
Except he did not want them to do that. Period. So you keep leaving that out. If I'm your boss, hold on. If you're my employee and I'm paying you a pretty good sum of money, I don't expect you to go out and hire a bunch of damn call girls or dancers. That reflects on the company.
Okay,
period.
But let me tell you this: if you're my boss, I had to run through those purchases with you.
So, do you think he's doing it and he just
he had the final say at the end? He is the boss.
He's just doing it to save face in front of the permanently offended crowd.
Possibly, but he still didn't. It still reflects on the company. It's just no different than a guy who plays for a basketball team that keeps going out and getting multiple DUIs. They're going to eventually cut it.
And where?
He's reflecting the team.
Okay.
Yes, but what I'm saying, though, is that he's the one who approved the damn thing. He had to have. He's the head of Microsoft, head of Xbox.
Right. Well,
to approve the event and then turn around after everybody got offended and go, oh, we don't want that here. That's bullshit. He's just doing it just to save face. There was nothing wrong with it. He should have actually stood up for his people.
Yeah, he wants people to say, look, you're such a great guy. Like the people that were against that, he wants to get on their side, basically.
Yeah, he's appeasing the permanently offended crowd, the professionally offended.
But that would have happened with any company.
Sony did the same thing.
Okay, let me ask y'all a question. Hold on, let me ask y'all a question. Because you saying one thing about the dancing part. What's this other part about, like, if they, because I didn't watch it. So you saying that the people that he want to hire more black people, or what is he saying?
No, it's not. Okay, first of all, there's nothing wrong with hiring more black people or hiring more women or hiring anything like that. The way he put it was that these people that he wanted to promote and hire these people based on the fact that they were black or a woman. That is wrong.
I don't think that's what he do though. I mean,
the way it came across.
Obviously, he's gonna.
He needs to hire talent. That's what he needs to hire. His talent.
Not gonna get hired.
But that's the way. I mean, I'm saying that's the way it came across. That his words came across, and that's the reason why I said he went full SJW. Because like like I said, you could have three different. Like I mean, it only seems home really whenever you say like those three white people, but it's not because of their white. You could make them black, purple, whatever the hell you wanted to say.
I feel you.
But if you take one from the United States, one from even north, like part of Africa where there somebody's there, like Russia, those three people are going to be more diverse than like a black person, a Mexican, and a what's it called, a like lesbian that come from the same city.
But you do have
they're all going to have similar life experiences.
But you also do have to recognize that a lot of these companies don't hire the women, don't hire black people.
Hey, I'm not
because of the fact that they color and they gender. That's
and that's just as equally as wrong is what I'm saying though. But like, okay, first of all, racism isn't good no matter what.
Right.
Like whether it be somebody not hiring you or somebody to choose to hire you based on your race.
He was basically racism. Like I mean, yeah,
racism is racism. Racism is racism, whether it be them choosing not to hire you based on your race or hiring you solely because of your race.
Right, but if they already been doing the hiring and now they trying to do it, I think people should just let them do it. You know what I'm saying? Nobody, they gonna get women in there. Are they gonna get more diversity in there? Do it. You know what I'm saying?
I think
because a lot of people have. Hold on, let me finish. A lot of people have the skill, but they not given a chance. I come from a background of that.
If they have the skill, I'm all for it.
Right, but what I'm saying is that I'm in that field where I work with a lot of people that do front end work, back end work, and it's harder for people of color, whether they black, Hispanic, whatever, Asian, whatever.
Unfortunately, there's a lot of things, and because a lot of these jobs are applied for by like blind resume, and a lot of the times people get looked over based on their name. Because of the fact that if you're like, it's just a proven thing that if you're having somebody like work for your company or whatever, that you would hire somebody with a more, I guess not really just a basic name, but an easier to pronounce name rather than and I know it's unfair, but unfortunately, but that's usually how a lot of people get passed over.
That's fucking retarded.
It is.
Like, I know
that is fucking retarded.
You gotta change that shit.
I fully agree with you. Like, if you came to the table and you had just the same exact amount of merits as the next person, I'm perfectly 100% on board. Hire him. You know what I mean? But if you come to the table and you don't have, like, me and you, I'm white, you're black. If me and you both go to apply for Microsoft, but I have degrees in the shit that they're looking for, and you just graduated high school or you just graduated college, but I've actually been working in the field, and they hire you because you're black, that is racism just in the reverse form.
But that's stupid to do. Why would
it is stupid? It is stupid, and some companies do that.
Because what companies? I haven't seen. I don't know. I can't.
Look at BioWare.
Because the companies.
BioWare. There's a guy racist that works at BioWare.
That is the exact reason why Mass Effect Andromeda was to the point they actually had a lead programmer on there that has never done a lick of programming, but she was a lead. But they had to promote her to that because it was a female.
What was her name?
Go ahead, Fable. You know the whole story, right?
But what about I just played the fucking game.
Hey guys, I'm gonna jump in for 1 minute. I'm gonna jump in for 1 minute.
Crazy.
I'm gonna jump in for 1 minute. Okay, because I know, and I'm gonna say this, and I don't care who get mad at me. I've been part of something, but I know a lot of black dudes who have degrees, who work their ass off, have the experience, and don't get shit. Okay, don't get hired. Have the knowledge, have the background, done the shit for more than 5 years, and even if they do get hired, they get paid less than somebody with less of a degree, less of experience, less of anything else. And I'm gonna do that in reverse. I'm gonna talk about me.
Well, no, I'm like that.
Wait.
That's wrong.
I'm gonna talk about me now. But I'm gonna talk about me now. I was hired at companies, and they didn't want to give me the job, and people were going to call me back when I had the more experience, but they were doing this crazy shit where I had to hire so many of this. And I told them, I told this one company, I said, listen, you're only going to pay me this, all right? which I deserve more than that because I have the degree and I have the background. I'll tell you this: in 1 month, if I ain't the top person in that department, you can fire me or you give me a raise. And guess what happened? I got my motherfucking raise.
Well, here's a big issue, like with what you're saying there on that. It's been that whole James Damore, that memo that he put out with Google. He was actually right with that, because a lot of when women are hired, it's been shown that they don't fight for raises more often, and so that's the reason why they end up getting, like, if you go above you, like in your evaluation, they end up getting paid less sometimes, is because of the fact that they don't really negotiate. They're just like, whenever they go in there, so the boss tells them, you're going to get $15 an hour. They're like, okay. And men are more prone to go like, no, I think I have a $17 an hour.
Motherfuckers be scared to do that shit.
So,
they be
but Corleone's right. You got to watch.
People walk around on eggshells at their job, dog. Like, real talk. Like, motherfuckers being like, I've been in a corporate setting for over 15 years, and I don't walk around on eggshells. I just be myself, and that's maybe like,
and that's probably what's helped you.
Yeah.
But you know what I'm saying? A lot of people, they don't do that, and they walk around on eggshells, and it's like, you know what I'm saying? You're so scared because it's like you feel like you made it, or you're in a position where you can win and you can, like, you know, take care of your family and shit.
But Corleone, you're right. As a black man, it's hard to do that, or a Mexican. Because as soon as you speak up, they're like, well, do you like your job? Do you want your job? You ask for a raise. You want your job or not? And they ain't gonna give you that raise, and they threaten your job.
But to say that they only do, but they do that to me. They've done that to me too, and I'm a white guy.
They do it to everybody that they
can. They don't like strong, like, companies. They want strong-willed people, but they also don't want too strong-willed people. So you have to have that. You have to find that right medium there, and a lot. But I mean, it's like, if people are doing things based on the fact that it's your gender or your race, no matter if it's in any way, shape, or form against you or for you, then that's wrong. It should be based solely on merits all the way around.
Yes.
Talent,
skills, and talent. Yes, it's like work has always been a meritocracy. Like, but I think you bring the goods to the table. Oh, go ahead.
No, I was gonna say, if Phil trying to break the barrier, maybe he worded it wrong. I gotta look at it, listen to what he's saying.
If he worded it wrong and he worded it like what you said earlier, I'm 100% on board.
They need to make some games.
There is absolutely nothing wrong. There's absolutely nothing wrong with hiring more people of color and stuff like that, if they actually bring the merits to the table.
You all have gotten off subject. The fact is that he's the boss. Yeah, he's the boss, and he can. And if something reflects bad on his company, especially on his teams, he'll fire you. It's the same. It doesn't. I mean, my God. I mean, it happened on the set of the last Star Wars movie. Somebody was given.
I just hate to see that. I hate to see these companies like Phil, and then also like Sony, who did recently with Peter Rabbit, like, give in to the professionally offended people, because you can never please these people no matter what you do. So you could actually end up losing a bunch of really key and great employees because somebody somewhere was offended and created a scene.
Well, but I'm not for sure.
We're in a weird time in society.
Crash, but
what happened is because they made Peter Rabbit take advantage of the guy that was trying to kill him by putting him in anaphylactic shock, and the allergy community seriously ran out and boycott Peter Rabbit, and Sony is irresponsible in teaching people to kill people through anaphylactic shock. I mean, it was stupid outrage culture that we live in.
Nobody's not gonna see that anyway. Black Panther open opposite that thing. Nobody went and saw Peter Rabbit.
What I'm saying though is that but they still came out and apologized and gave in to these people that were just professionally offended.
Bottom line is this: it sound like what he said at the speech. Getting back to what Princess was just saying, is that they're recruiting. It sounds like they're openly recruiting. Possibly more women, more minorities. That's going to make some people maybe feel some kind of way. As far as the fanboys are concerned, I mean, some of them literally were saying that they have the constitutional right to be toxic. That really threw me.
Well, they do.
You know what's funny? I did a video about that. That word toxic is so fucking corny. It ain't funny. Yeah, it ain't funny. It's so corny. It ain't even funny. You know, you saw it. It's corny.
Yeah.
You know what? No, You are you are toxic, not anything else. You are saying some sick shit that is polluting gaming. You're polluting the gaming industry. That's what's toxic. You're a pollutant. You're not toxic. You're a pollutant. Okay, that's polluting, and you're ruining. These people are actually ruining even Xbox. And Xbox don't see that, and Phil needs to see that. That's why I brought it up. Phil talked about he don't like people in toxic community. That okay? I'm gonna bring up one name, and I'm gonna do it for the last time. Why were you in chat with Crap Gamer then?
Snap.
Oh snap!
There you go. Why are you in a chat with Crap Gamer? And it was put up, and it was him. You were in there with Crap Gamer. Why are you in a chat in a party with Crap Gamer when you say you don't like toxic? He does nothing for Xbox but ruin it. He don't play.
Amen to
he don't play. He don't play. And I don't like to bring up people's names, but I had to bring that up only because he talks about he don't like toxic people. Well, evidently you do. So don't lie. That's one thing I didn't like about him when he said that. Because you're talking to the people that you say you don't like. You're in chats with them, chatting it up, and partying it up, and laughing and giggling. Wow. Get real. Be real. You are running a company. And you're not running no little Fortune 100, 500 company. You're running a big motherfucking company. Get it right. Get it right. You work. It's only a division of Microsoft, but Microsoft is a big company, and you don't realize with you dealing with these idiots, you can actually hurt the Microsoft brand. Period. And I'm talking about whatever else Microsoft does.
Exactly.
The other divisions, you could actually hurt it by dealing with people like that.
Right.
I mean, they technically, if you want to get down to the nitty gritty of things, they've actually already have. Because I mean, the fact is, like, if he's out there listening to these people, like the name that you just dropped, I don't like saying that name because every time I do, I lose brain cells. You know, trust me. I mean, I've been back when I was on YouTube and I heard about this guy and I heard about the people that he hangs out with and like the amount of lies and slanders that people believe from this individual's mouths about Xbox. Like, and then when I got the system and then I started doing my own research and I started looking into shit, it's just, I don't even know how to explain it, man.
Yeah. Their own community is just hypocrites. They say something and then flip sides and try to be neutral to the situation, which they're not because they're being fake motherfuckers. You know? I mean,
I agree.
You gotta be a gamer for being a gamer, not being a freaking fanboy, buying and defending a freaking company.
Or at least if you're a fanboy, please just say you're a fanboy. There's nothing wrong with you saying that, but just like don't try to pretend you're not. Like when you are.
Exactly. You can be a fan of something, but don't be a fanboy about it, though.
Right.
Like, you know what I mean? Like, if you're willing to open up and explain like the flaws and give the console praises. I mean, hell, I can sit there and give you praises and cons to the Xbox and Sony if I wanted to.
Yeah, me too. And I'm
you know what I mean?
Sure, I take shots at Microsoft a lot, but I don't go blindly defend Sony and say, "Oh, their console is godlike." You know, they do nothing wrong. I mean, they have done some shady shit. Even Microsoft, Nintendo. I call out whichever company. You know, not just Microsoft.
Oh,
Sony
also,
and Nintendo.
Titan, thank you again for that tweet that you fucking sent out today about me, man. I appreciate that. Thank you.
But I meant it though.
I know you did. That's what I mean. Like, seriously, thank you.
You're welcome.
Because I mean, although I shouldn't technically have to be the one that's going out there and finding these stuff that I can play on this system. I mean, that's people's jobs. They should be looking for that shit.
Yeah.
But with the way how bad Xbox brand is doing and how nobody's giving them a lickety dick of bullshit to fucking go based on, man, and like, but yet here I am, just scouring the internet, finding stuff that I can actually play on this system. Like, people tell me all the time, it's like, oh, Fatal, don't worry, you know, you're new to the console, you're gonna play all that crap like that, you know, all the stuff that we know about, but you just watch within the first 2 months, you're gonna be done with that console.
Yeah.
I posted up that picture on Twitter, and I posted. Well, I'm not sure if you saw it, Craig, though, but I posted up that picture. And I'm like, see, right here, this is the reason why I'm still not going to be giving up on this system.
Yeah.
Because I will find shit.
I mean, you have.
But Bear, the reason I said that was because you actually bring out all points, good and bad.
Yep.
That's what I like about you, because you don't just say negative. You don't just say positive on any console.
Unless I'm trolling somebody.
On any console.
Yeah.
Unless you're trolling.
Skyrim.
Yeah, but you don't. But what I'm saying is that you ain't all out bashing shit. You out there saying, "Listen, I own all these consoles. I do this. This is what I do, and I'm going to bring out the good and bad. What I like, what I think could be better.
Yep.
What I don't like that needs to be improved. But you'll do that with any console.
Exactly.
And that's why I bring certain people to the podcast that will talk about all these things. Like the people that are here now. You all will talk. And none of us fight about anything. We can disagree and we can argue a little bit, but we come to an understanding at the end. You know, we do that. That's what a podcast is about. You got to get different points of views, different people with different perspectives, people who... Hey, the one thing I can't stand, don't come on my podcast and be a yes a boss or a yes a man person. Don't do that.
Yeah.
Don't agree with everything I say. Do not agree with it. If you disagree with me, you tell me you disagree and tell me why.
I disagree.
Yeah.
With what?
Shut up, Frozen.
No, but you guys get my point. You guys get my point. You know,
but
you gotta have. Go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say, like, you really gotta think about it too as well. Like when a gamer's mentality breaks out into that spectrum of sitting there and being loyal to this brand while secretly playing the other competitor on the sideline without anybody on YouTube actually knowing, or keep their privacy online hidden so that you don't know that they're actually not playing anything on that said console. And trust me, there's a lot of Xbox guys that do that. Why? I don't know why. But I just
let them take that feature out and then see what they do.
Well, here's the thing. Well, I mean, Frozen and Titan, you know me for quite a while, right? And same with you, Craig. You guys know the stuff that I'm willing to play. So I question myself, like, why is nobody else fucking playing any of this crap? Like, do they not know about it? Do they not see what's coming on?
No, Bear, I think you're right. Some of these games, and that's part of one of the topics I want to get into later on, but one of the things is that certain games aren't promoted enough or put out in the public where people can understand the game and maybe have interest in it. I mean, you got a lot of games that are out there that are titles that people never heard of, and when they see that you've played them, they're like, "What the hell?" You know, and put game clips up. They're like, "What the hell game is that?"
Yeah, like what are they advertising now on the Xbox, the Windows Store? What like when you click on it, what's the first picture you see? It'd be probably something like
PUBG.
Yeah, PUBG.
Like, PUBG, or if you don't see that, you see Game Pass. Game Pass.
What do you mean? Like, wait, you talking about if I actually go on the store right now? On Xbox?
Like, see, like, what do they put?
Right now, I'll look right now.
Yeah,
I'll be able to tell you exactly what I see, what they advertise. Right now, they're advertising the EA Publisher Sale, Anime Month, Last Week to Save, Kingdom Come Deliverance, Watch Mute on Netflix, and of course, the best one left for sponsor-wise, buy the actual Sea of Thieves pirate controller.
Oh, wow.
Is it looking at it on PC or?
Sorry, what?
Are you looking at it on PC?
Nope, I'm looking at it off my Xbox, sir. I don't have a PC that can run jack shit.
Yeah, his PC's old school, very old school.
My PC sucks ball.
You got Windows 98.
Jordan, why are you telling
I have Windows 7, goddammit. Fuck you.
What is this on you?
I grew up in 1993, okay?
Okay, so let me ask you guys a question, right? Did you guys know that have you guys ever been to the Creatives Corner on Xbox? Because I had no idea. I had no idea until I got the system that little section of the store even existed. I never heard a single fucking person ever talk about that. Now, mind you, when you actually go to that side of the store, there's a lot of shit, and I mean bad shit.
Probably where that one game that got canceled. What was that game with the little thing you were running around?
I've never heard of it.
Spark.
So I don't know what
was it called Spark or something like that?
It was a Suicide Forest game.
Yeah.
Although I will say that there's been a recent game that Microsoft recently uploaded on the actual Xbox store, not the creative program store, but the actual in the free to play category section called it's called Cattlestick.
Cattlestick.
And it's a fucking mobile game that advertises mobile shit after you beat a level.
This is gonna be another.
Nobody had to explain that one.
Black Tiger. Life of the Black Tiger. Remember that shit?
No, I think honestly, with all due respect to that piece of shit game, I think Candlestick takes the cake. That game is worse.
Really?
Like fuckery, man.
I have to see actual gameplay. I mean,
but look,
because-
my point is this. I made that list not to prove people wrong, not to sit there and say, oh, hey guys, this is coming to Xbox. I made that list because no one else is fucking doing it.
No, I mean,
when all the answers are out there right in front of you, like I had no idea that Turok, which is now available for pre-order right now, surprisingly, the day after I make this fucking image, Turok 1 and 2, the original classics that were on, Xbox or not Xbox, N64 and PS1 back in the day, are up for pre-order right now, man. The remasters are pre-order right now on Xbox Store.
Yeah.
If I would have never actually seen that for myself,
I knew they were on there, but I don't post as much.
Yeah,
I don't.
Nobody would tell me that shit.
Working.
You got these Xbox dudes hyping up stuff that they don't even buy, and when it comes down, they still praise the game, and then they still don't buy it. I don't get that.
Well, you can say that for any platform. Any platform.
Yeah, I mean,
a lot of people like the game. That's actually worse if you don't buy the game. But if you buy the game,
not just
you don't
Xbox
want
guys, but I mean, it's literally because I've called out plenty of PlayStation guys that have all these lists and talking about how great these games are.
Yeah, they never bought them, do they? Right?
You got to look at their trophies, and they never booted up.
Yep.
Right.
Oh yeah.
Played it. Yep. They do that a lot, man.
That's one thing I can't stand on any platform. Don't talk about a game if you ain't playing it, you ain't buying it, you ain't supporting it. Do not talk about the game.
That also reminds me too as well, Titan. I'm glad that you said that because even if a game I don't have interest in, I will still buy that game and I will still play it. And the reason for it is because maybe I'll want to see if my actual interest will definitely change. But on top of that too as well, when it does get brought up in a conversation, I can at least say, you know what? Yeah, I played the game. This is what I don't like. This is what I do like. That kind of stuff like that. But that's just me, of course. That's just me.
No, I've actually done that at times. There are games that didn't seem interesting, but I would try them. So if I'm on a podcast or whatever, or somebody brings it up on my podcast, excuse me, our podcast, I would actually be able to say something about it, good or bad.
I used to do that a lot. I used to buy a lot of the games that I've seen on Xbox that don't nobody really talk about. I used to do it on PS3 too, and most of those games I stopped doing it because either I play it and I like it, but I never go back to it because one of the big dogs done came out at the time, and I just never went back to it. Because if you look at my PS3, at my PSN, and my Xbox Live, you'll see I got a lot of those none talked about titles that I haven't even beat yet.
That's what I look for, man.
Yeah, wow. You know what's funny?
But I still like them, and eventually I will go back one day and probably finish them. But it's just.
But you know what's
funny? Many of the big titles that I want to play more.
You know what's funny that you mentioned that about those titles? Is that those are the titles that people never heard of, and some of those titles, some of those games are actually good games.
Yeah.
Me and Bear were talking about that shit. Me and Bear were talking about that shit. They're actually good games that don't get put out there, and people don't know about them, and they wonder why they don't sell. Well, you got to
nobody supports it.
No, it's not that nobody supports it. It's that they don't
nobody
even
knows about it.
Exactly. They don't give it enough advertising. Advertisement in order to.
It's like on PS3, like on PS3. There's a game that's just like Zelda. I think it was called 3D Dot Hero or something like that.
You said that,
dude. I bought that because I heard it was just like Zelda, and it is exactly like Zelda, and it was the best.
And you get to create your own fucking world, man.
That game was awesome.
It's a bomb, right? It's a bomb, right?
Yeah.
It was a damn good game, but yet nobody bought it on the PS3.
Hold on.
You know why? Because nobody knew about it. Nobody knew about it.
Okay, but here's the thing, though, is like the reason why nobody knows about these games and the reason why a lot of them don't get shine is because there's so many games releasing. And a lot of these smaller games don't have the budget to promote their game. Like that's a lot of money to do any sort of type of promotion. So it's up to usually word of mouth in order to get these games out there. Because I mean, even like you might even think sometimes like Yakuza or something doesn't get enough like airtime or whatever, but the studio itself is the one that is paying the airtime, and if they don't have the money for the budget for it, they're just expecting word of mouth for it to travel. And that's I usually go look for these games like what y'all are talking about, because I have a ton of small games on my system that I'm finding a lot of enjoyment, even though it might take an hour, 2 hours, sometimes 3 or 4 to beat this game. I'm having sometimes more enjoyment with that than some of these bigger games that are out there.
I'll give you an example. Fable Fortune, that game just launched today it's out of game preview now. It's now officially released as a free-to-play game. If you are a fan of Hearthstone, right, and you like the Fable series, you should play this game, because that's exactly what Fable Fortune is. It's Hearthstone, but Fable-wise. That's all it is. And I was playing it yesterday, and I was playing it today. Yeah, I was playing it today, and I played it yesterday, but I didn't really play it and get into it until today. And that game, it's exactly like Hearthstone, just Fable. And it's actually pretty damn good for a card game. So if you're a fan of Fable and you love Hearthstone, don't sleep on this game. Plus, it's also on PC as well, and it's play anywhere, so enjoy it.
That's pretty cool. I mean, if I had an Xbox, I would definitely get it for Fable and Forza and Halo. Definitely.
It's the game preview is another thing that I love about Xbox too, as well, that I definitely would honestly praise. I mean, I know a lot of people don't like early access. Like, I don't want to pay like $20 for a game that's like.
You want Fatal? They tell you that. They tell you it's a game, and people still want to complain.
Well, I mean, which is exactly which I kind of laughed at the fact when Digital Foundry did a goddamn analyst for a game preview for PUBG, and it's like the game is still in early access on Xbox. That game's not going anywhere. That game is not going to launch anytime soon for a while. Subnautica has been out on PC now for
that game is
4.5 years.
That game is awesome.
Yeah, and that game now is officially launched on PC, but it has not officially launched on Xbox. It's still on game preview because the performance in that game is god awful bad.
Yeah,
but I just love that game. But the thing of it is, I wish Sony had that kind of fucking. I wish Sony would do something like that, because I'd like to be able to buy early access.
And I was
able to support them.
Because I'm a truck driver now, so I look for a lot of YouTubers to watch. And I came across this dude called Clean Prince Gaming, and the way he does his channel is whatever his subject is that he's going to talk about, he do it as an essay, and he does his research. He do some pretty damn good research on all the stuff. You guys need to check him out. He did one a couple of days ago called he changed his mind about owning the Xbox One, about the value of it. And he started going into detail. He didn't do this one as an essay. He just did it as like a regular dialogue. And he talks about how at the beginning, he didn't really know which way they were going and why it would not be in your best interest to get one at this point in time. But then later, changed his mind and came out with his next video saying like the Game Pass, the game preview, the Play Anywhere. Even though Xbox doesn't have a lot of games now, all that sums up how valuable the Xbox One still is.
Yeah, and you're absolutely right. And Titan, I told you about that.
Yeah, I know a lot of people saying like Play Anywhere is what hurt it, but what a lot of people don't realize, when Phil first introduced it, he said out his mouth that Play Anywhere is for the traveling gamer, such as myself, people in the military. People don't see that because they only see themselves at home, stationary. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that Play Any. Go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say there's one game that I threw at Titanfall the other day. I think it was during the weekend, I believe it was. There's a game that's coming out on the 28th of this month, the last day of the month. Thank God, I'm buying this too as well. It's coming in the game preview. It's called Deep Rock Galactic. It's a game that Microsoft showed off during their E3 showing. It had its own little segment, and people showed it off, whatever the case may be. And I was telling Titanfall, I was like, I said you should definitely snag this up. It's a 4-player co-op online game. It's got procedurally generated fucking cave systems, whatever you want to call it.
Yeah.
And like, yeah, it looks like a really cool, addictive freaking game. And best of all, it's only $20. And I was like, okay, it's coming on the 28th. I'm snagging that motherfucker.
Oh yeah, I'm getting that too.
He definitely told me about that game. Yes.
Yep. And I was telling people, I'm like, see, but like, but now if you go to people that are on this side of YouTube, and like I said, that name I'm not gonna bring up, but his name was already brought up earlier. That motherfucker would never let anybody know that game is coming out or that game is even released on that shit.
Yeah. Don't lose any brain cells.
Yeah. Keep names to not be spoken.
And look, and this is another thing I wanted to ask all you guys, because I talked about this and I shared my expression on this to Craig on his show. I think it was yesterday. Yeah, it was yesterday's show. I said to him, like, everybody complains about Microsoft not having any exclusives, which we can all agree with. But my biggest question is one thing I've noticed is that nobody ever does is explain what games they want to see Microsoft come out with.
Exactly. Thank you.
That's my question.
I've always said that. They never talk
but
about
I hear
when I ask it, though.
Yeah. Okay, go ahead.
Yeah, no, I just want to say real quick. The reason why I'm asking this question is because Microsoft can come out with a dozen games, but if none of those games you give a flying fuck about, you're gonna go right back to saying the same shit again over and over and over.
Yeah, that's what.
But Bear,
I've been saying this. I've been saying
this.
I don't see the hatred towards that game.
This for 2 years.
There's a lot of blind hate for fucking Sea of Thieves, man. A lot of
the consumer don't know what they want. Know what I'm saying? If they look at it like, what are you gonna bring to the table? Now, if they bring something to the table, and that shit ain't hot, if people don't like it,
that's not a thing.
I'm gonna play Sea of Thieves this weekend. I'm gonna dust off.
You know what a lot of people want?
I'm gonna check it out.
No. Because think about it like this, though, right? Let me just break this down like this, super fast. The reason why I'm so like adamant about this is because it's kind of true when you think about it, right?
Yeah.
Because every time when Microsoft attempts to bring something out, whether it be like Sunset Overdrive,
but that shit be trash, though, fam.
No, but that's the thing. But how do you know if you haven't played
it? I have played it.
Yeah, but Sunset Overdrive is not trash. It may be trash to you, but it's not trash to me.
I didn't say it was trash. I'm saying the games that they make. I'm saying you're using that as an example. I'm saying that the games that they have been making have been trash, or they have been canceling them. So how the fuck can we know what I'm saying?
Well, how many games have they canceled so far? Outside from
they canceled like 4 or 5 games.
Scalebound.
There's been like
other ones, because I may not be aware of those ones.
The Fable Legends. I was signed up for that. I was actually playing that game.
Okay, that's Scalebound and Fable Legends.
I mean, I'm not gonna sit here and name.
I know why they canceled. They canceled Fable Legends.
Wait, hold on.
Guys,
let me say what I'm saying.
The Phantom Dust remake. Or remaster.
Yeah, that was. I don't know why they canceled that. That was stupid.
They actually shown off a game. They shown off a game.
Right, but you ain't gotta name the ones that they canceled. Y'all already know.
Hold on, guys. They got a super.
They had conversations about this for the past 2 years.
They got a sequel to Super Lucky Tales coming out, man. It did pretty good.
Yeah, whatever.
They're making a part. They're making a part 2.
Some of the games that they've been bringing out.
That is part 2.
The best game that they brought out last year was Cuphead. I beat that. You know what I'm saying? So I play their games. I got all the exclusives. I'm gonna play Sea of Thieves. It hasn't came out yet. I didn't sign up for the beta, but I just got a message early today to play Sea of Thieves. So I'm gonna download it.
They're doing open access.
They're opening it up for more people.
I bought 2 copies of PUBG. It's recorded on this channel, and that shit trash. Yeah, I bought one for my nephew and one for myself. I ain't played it since the first day I turned that shit on because it's not right.
PUBG?
It's not right. Yeah, you know what I'm saying?
Well, yeah.
Are you playing on a regular
game preview? It's still in game.
Don't matter what I'm playing.
I'm
playing on the game. It should work. You know what I'm saying? Like I should have fun, and I'm not having fun.
Well, wait a minute. Wait.
I beat that. Halo 5. I beat that.
That game is still a game preview.
No, Fatal. Here's the thing.
You check my thing. My score is able. You can go look at it. I beat those games.
Here's the thing, Fatal. Whenever you say that the game is in preview, fine, I get that 100%. But whenever Phil Spencer and everybody has came out and they've been praising and Mike Ybarra and everybody's been retweeting and tweeting and everything about how easy and quick it is to port over games from the PC to the Xbox.
Yeah.
And they actually have a working copy on PUBG on the PC, and you port over a broken-ass copy on the Xbox One X.
Yeah, no. I agree with you on that because PUBG is far from ready. It's far from fucking ready.
PUBG should never have launched in the game preview in the way it was.
Well, that's the whole point of the game preview, right?
Fam,
No,
they should have coming out smacking motherfuckers with these many games in 1 year. They haven't even been here for 1 year, and they have better games than the Xbox One.
Wait a minute.
Can I interject real quick? All I'm gonna say is that Xbox needs to make more quality exclusives. Okay.
Yes.
Compare them.
I don't know what I want. I just want you to give me the game. You know what I'm saying? Surprise me.
Right. I'm not saying that. But what I'm saying is that if you compare their exclusives to PlayStation and Nintendo, there's a big fucking difference.
That's very disrespectful comparing.
Wait a minute.
You can't compare them to Nintendo's. Nintendo's exclusives will always thrive.
Yeah, and plus I don't want.
I'm talking
what
about.
I'm saying is that you want something. You want something where you just like, wow, this is. I gotta have this game. Like when Quantum Break came out, I was like, man, I gotta play this shit. You know what I'm saying? Rise. Play that shit. They had some games.
Okay, just a second.
They haven't had no timeline over the last year and a half.
A lot of people just want everything to be like copied because everybody says they want Uncharted on the Xbox. They want to.
But I don't want that.
You don't need that on Xbox.
You don't need that on Xbox.
They need to have their own game.
Thank you.
They need their own lane.
Yes.
No, I'm just saying that's what most of the community is saying. They said they want a Horizon type of game.
But that's what I was saying. That's what I was saying.
Yo, Tom, let Titanfall.
With quality. Yeah, because I haven't been able to talk. You're not letting me talk. I said they need more quality in their games. Besides the games themselves, they need quality.
Yeah. I want to go back to
and they're not given the quality. They do have some exclusives, don't get me wrong. But the quality of those exclusives are shit. For a console that has all this fucking power, that the games and the quality is shit.
Come on,
guys. You all know that's the truth.
Come on, guys.
I own it. I own the console. I know.
E3. Gotta wait till E3. Yeah.
I want to go back to. I want to go back to the comment about like Nintendo having better exclusives in the 1 year, less than a year than what Xbox has. Don't give Nintendo any fucking credit. They fucked over their entire Wii U generation, so that way they could have this lineup. That's the only reason they had this hell of a lineup in the first years because they had a console out and they just said, "Oh, screw it, we're not making games for that because nobody's buying it. We're just going to make it for our next system."
Hey, I'm for it. I want to say this and then I'm gonna stop about it. I am for Xbox, but I ain't for the motherfucking explaining. You know what I'm saying? It sounds like you explaining for them and shit, and then I can't accept that because this is my first time back. Hold on, can I get my point across?
Yes.
This is my first time with the Xbox. I didn't experience the 360, and Lord, I wish I did because I have been disappointed with the game. People call me a fanboy because all I had was Sony. So this year, this generation, I haven't had that experience that y'all had with the 360. But they have had great games. They've had good games that I've played, and you can check my score. You know what I'm saying? You could go on there. You can go look me up, Mr. Coleon 4. But I support Xbox.
Guys, we're gonna move on to the next topic.
All right.
Because this is going left field, right field.
We good.
No, but we're gonna move on to the last topic. And it is probably gonna continue the subject, but I want to move on to this one because it's kind of breaking into it. All right. The Xbox One X and E3 2018. To me, this is make or break time. The console has been a remake 3 different times, but Microsoft isn't marketing the games. Okay? So now, Microsoft has the powerful console. They do. But what I don't understand is during the Xbox One's launch, they didn't even put out a game that takes full advantage of it. So, that was a miss with
all of it.
The One X. So that was a missed opportunity right there for them. E3 would be the perfect time for Microsoft to give you a reason to really care about the console and at least give the Xbox gamers something before the gen is over. if you think about it, it's almost time for the next Xbox to launch already. I also know that Nintendo and Sony will be bringing out big guns at E3. So my question, how does Microsoft respond? What can Microsoft do at E3? And what games do you feel need to be shown off? Go for it.
Okay.
I'll go last.
I'll start with the first thing is that if you're an Xbox gamer, you're happy. You have plenty of games to play. The reason why most of this, like Xbox needs to do this, Xbox needs to do that, is the majority of us are multi-console owners, and so whenever we already have one system that actually will play everything plus those exclusives. So we're really looking hard on the exclusive part. But as Microsoft going into E3, if they please their fan base, the ones that actually just own an Xbox, they're okay. As far as Sony having heavy hitters, I don't think Sony's going to have heavy hitters coming E3 because of the fact that they've already shown all their studios and what they're already making. There's nothing that's going to. The only thing that we're going to need to see is either gameplay or release dates, or we're going to get a possible third-party deal that we didn't know about at the time. But I mean, I don't think Sony is going to come with a big, powerful E3. Nintendo is just going to come with like more of their stuff that they're doing.
Who do you think Microsoft is? You think Microsoft is?
What do I think Microsoft is?
No. Do you think Microsoft's going to come out with some big hitters at E3 besides Game Pass and giving you everything you had on the 360?
They're going to come out
and Xbox One.
They'll come out with like the Fable and stuff like that. I mean, they'll come out with some, but the thing is though is that they're not right now. I don't think they're so much concerned with targeting this this multi-console owner, or they're targeting trying to sway people over. Right now they're trying to keep their home fan base happy, and then they're
they're not because
but they are though.
No, they're not.
But Titanfall, you have two. They can't keep everybody happy. What I'm saying is they're keeping the Xbox gamer happy. Because if you talk
they're not, because I'm an Xbox gamer too.
Okay, just a minute. If you talk to anybody, most generally, okay.
All right.
If you talk to most people that just own an Xbox, they are happy. The people who own an Xbox and the PlayStation are the ones that usually aren't, because they're the ones seeing that one console of theirs is being used more because of more exclusives and stuff like that. But if you only have the Xbox, you don't really have. I mean, you're getting all the third-party games. You're getting the few exclusives there in between. They're far and few between, but you're still getting them, and you're still being able to have games to play. Right now, I think they are preparing for the next generation. Like they're going to start acquiring studios and IPs and stuff like that for the next generation. Right now, it's too late for them to come out with a big heavy hitter. And the
acquiring studios, I doubt that. I doubt that they're acquiring studios. They're going digital, and they're going fucking Game Pass. I doubt it. They want everything that is
right, but
they want everything that's multi-plat. No, they want multi-plat, which means they don't have to own the studio. So no, they are not gonna. They closed down all these studios. I doubt if they're acquiring new studios. I doubt that very much.
Well,
I doubt that very much.
Until they do or don't. Like I'm just going to go off of like what they're saying, because obviously I'm not just going to trust it blindly because I've been led wrong by them before. The thing is though is that they're not preparing. They're not trying to wow people into the final ends of this generation that we're in. Like they see that they've conceded the loss to Sony this generation, and they're now starting to try to like create services and stuff like that are actually going to start moving them forward into the next generation. And that's where they're moving with it.
Rambo,
So,
I got one question for you. Why would they acquire new studios when they're getting ready? They have to put the money into a new console.
Why would they acquire a studio? Well, because they still have to. Like,
all right, wait. You didn't hear me. They have to put the money into a new console. You got to realize
Microsoft has the money to do both.
No, Microsoft does, but not the Xbox brand. Microsoft is different than Xbox. You're not getting that. You're putting them as
yes, I know. I get it fully, but
no,
what
you
you're not
don't.
getting is the head of Xbox is actually at the Microsoft head of the table. They've actually moved him into the head of the table in Microsoft. not just an Xbox, but he's there for actually dealing with the Microsoft money, not just Xbox money. They have the ability to do this stuff. Now, whether or not they'll do it, it remains to be seen. But they have the ability to do it. It's not like it was before, where Xbox was completely like a redheaded stepchild to them. They've actually adopted and accepted them into the family.
I hate that term. I'm a redhead. I hate that term.
Well,
don't use it. I'm not a stepchild. I don't like that term.
Hey, I'm a ginger too. I have no soul.
I think they'll still support both, though. If they come out with a new console, they're going to be supporting the old one. They always support the old one still.
Yeah.
No, they don't. No, they don't. When the Xbox One dropped, majority of the exclusives didn't even drop on the Xbox 360.
That is true. Sony kept that going, but not Microsoft.
Sony keeps their consoles alive for years and years and years. I mean, their PS2 still had a game come out this generation.
Yep.
But the Xbox 360 was one of the sports games.
Well, they had a couple. They had Forza.
It couldn't have been any multiplayer because
it was a multiplayer. It was a FIFA game.
I'm talking. No, not multiplayer because they've been turned the servers down.
Yeah, it wasn't multiplayer. I mean, it was FIFA, but I think it was FIFA or something like that. But it didn't have the multiplayer attached to it. But it was just the game itself. But I mean, like, the thing is, though, is that, like, Sony is notorious for continuing their generation, like, for longer than really what it needs to be. And Xbox, they cut 360 off basically when the Xbox One launched. For the most part. I mean, like, there's a couple of games that did launch, like Forza Horizon 2, and Titanfall, but for the most part, like the 360 was like a forgotten child.
So you think they're gonna cut everything, like, even though they just released the X?
No, I think that what you'll see is that you won't see an actual proper next generation console for them, because they're gonna name it something differently, because I think they understand that Xbox One name carries a lot of negativity. So they're gonna change the name, but they're gonna still make it to where it's backwards and forwards capability with the Xbox One X.
Yep. And then once that new device or whatever the heck it is going to be called, that's when they're going to make the actual S irrelevant and make the X be the main.
Yes. Yeah. I mean,
the main buy for the X.
Right. Yep. They're going to keep it. They're going to keep their generations to where the most powerful one of the previous generation is still relevant with the new generation.
Yep.
But they still need exclusives. I mean, they still need exclusives.
They do if you're a multi-console owner. Yes, I would agree. Because I mean, whenever I'm as a multi-console owner, whenever I'm looking at my X, I boxed it up because there's really nothing to play.
Well, yeah, I mean,
but if I was an Xbox only gamer, I'd have plenty to play. I'd be like going, hell, I love my X. I love everything about it because I have tons of games to play.
I must be a really fucking rare breed gamer, dude. I swear to Christ, I must be really fucking rare to be who I am.
Yeah. Me and you both.
God damn, dude. Like, I mean, I own both PS4 and Xbox, and I'm gonna have no problem finding games to play on both. So I'm good. Like I said, it might just be rare, just because like my taste, I guess. And I think it all boils down to taste.
I've done the like double buying, but the thing is I'm so invested into the trophy system and PlayStation.
Yeah, you are.
That buying a multiplat on both, it just seems like it ends up going to a waste on the Xbox because I have so many.
Yeah, no, that I can understand. That I can totally
ecosystem.
When I talk to you,
that's exclusive. What do you
prefer? That ecosystem, basically. That's
right. But I'm saying, what Xbox game are you playing right now? Anybody, whoever, it don't matter.
Oh, I'm playing fucking Recore right now, and we're playing shit and fucking State of Decay. I'm playing that too as well. Scream Ride, I recently been playing that a little bit more.
How do you like State of Decay? Because I found the first one boring as hell.
Well, that's actually, I don't mind boring games because I play fucking Dynasty.
But
anyway, I mean, it's okay. I like the concept behind it. I'm more excited for the second one, obviously, but I wanted to get an idea of what State of Decay was before getting into the second one. So I figured, I'll play the first one, see what it is. And I mean, I like the concept behind it. You know what I mean? It just seems like your typical, whatever you want to call it, like, survival horror, zombie kind of game.
Yeah, the only thing that I didn't like about the first State of Decay is that it wasn't it should have been multiplayer.
Well,
it definitely needed co-op.
Yeah, that would have made it a lot more fun for the people that didn't like it.
Yeah.
Speaking of safety, they need to speak up.
But another thing is,
second game.
I think it was Mr. Corleone that was asking that question. I think it was me, because I don't think I'm not sure if you know like the kind of gamer that I am, but like anytime when like I'll look around the console and I'll find something that like just catches my attention, as long as it's like only on that system I'll be able to play. Like that's what I did with the Wii, and that's why I love the original Wii, because I was a big fan of that system because there was so much variety on that console. But that's because based on what I go for and what I look for. And Xbox, when I came up with that list, right, of like exclusives, console exclusives, and timed exclusives, and even free to play exclusive wise, whatever the case may be, or timed, or whatever the case may be. There's a lot of those games on that list that I'm looking forward to actually playing. Like the one that I was mentioning earlier about the Deep Rock Galactic. I'm looking forward to playing that. I just recently got my hands on Claybook. Now, look, I'm aware that these games are also on PC, but remember, I don't have a PC that can run any of these fucking games. And I can't afford to buy myself a decent rig in order to be able to play these games just at minimum settings. So by me now having an Xbox, at least that gives me something that I'd be able to play it on that console while, you know what I mean, while waiting for something else to come out on PlayStation or even on the Xbox that I want to play, that I truly want to play, you know what I mean? So it gives me something to do. But like I said, like when everybody was complaining about like the Wii U, for example, right, having so many droughts, that wasn't an issue for me because I found stuff on the eShop store to play, or I would go out and fucking find other things that I can invest my money and time into playing these games. Well, that's the kind of person that I am. I mean, you're talking to a guy who was so desperate to play something on the Wii U that I played fucking Barbie's Dreamhouse Adventure, man. I didn't care. I fucking played it.
You really play that?
but my point is, that's who I am as a gamer. Yeah, and like I said, I'm not trying to toot my own horn because I mean that's the way I've always been. Like I've always been a multi-console owner every generation, but I game on literally fucking anything and everything, so I can get my hands on it. You know, and that's the way I was born, and that's the way I got into gaming and how I was
that's
raised
the way
as a
it
gamer.
should be. Fair. That's the way it should be. If you're a gamer,
I would love to see it go that way, but
no, but that's the way it should be. If you're a gamer, you should game everywhere and anywhere where there's a game you want to play. Just do it.
Yeah,
it shouldn't matter what console it's
ass
on.
game. Like I'll give you an example of Mr. Corleone, man. Like, and I hate bringing this game up, but I'm gonna bring it up.
You ain't got to bring up no more, bro. I got it.
Well, okay, anyways, we get the idea, though, right?
You ain't
I'll play
gotta,
anything.
Yeah, I understand.
Well, the thing is,
I guess the Barbie did it for you, right?
What a lot of people don't know is that there's a lot of games on the Xbox One that they're actually just timed exclusives because they're small indies.
Yeah.
But a lot of people don't go into there and even look at the indies. Like there's a lot of them there
that's a real shame that you don't. Yeah.
And I mean, I agree that they have a big AAA exclusive problem. But if you actually look at all those ID and Xbox games, there's a ton of them on there, whether or not you like them or not.
Yep.
And usually they're timed. I mean, most indies are usually that way because the indies don't usually do exclusivity. Simply because of the fact that they're a small studio and they want as much money as possible.
Let me just say this super quick. An exclusive, when people say exclusives, people, man, it does not automatically mean AAA exclusive. An exclusive is just a fucking exclusive, people. Stop using that fucking excuse. Console. Yeah, stop using that AAA exclusive fucking excuse, man.
Yeah.
But you know what? People don't realize it doesn't have to be a AAA game to be a good game on that console. As long as it's exclusive and it's a good game, that's all that matters. It's exclusive
Hellblade's a prime
console.
example of that. Hellblade's a prime example of that.
Yeah.
That was a budget game or a middleware title game that was $30 bucks. Well, 40 for me. I live in Canada. But that game delivered on so many aspects, man. It was 40 for me. I live in Canada.
Yeah.
30 for the United States.
Yeah.
Prices over here are a lot more expensive in Canada. Go Canada. Hold on. But Hellblade is a prime example of a game that gives you like the quality you come to expect from a AAA developer, but at half the cost. Like that game was phenomenal.
Yeah, I was following that. I was following that game through all the videos and everything. All the
dev diaries and shit, dude.
Yeah, and the game delivered on everything that I expected it to, and that's why I love that game so much.
Yeah, Hellblade did something. Go ahead.
I hate that a lot of people just think it's trash because they don't get it. They don't understand the concept of what they were trying to do with that game. Yeah.
It's not that they think it's trash because of that. They think it's trash because they can't play it. That's the other reason why people call it trash.
There's definitely
when they can't play the game and get through the game, then the game is trash. That's the other problem I have with the gaming community. Don't call something trash.
I just hate that it sold so low.
Yeah.
It should have sold a lot more than what it did.
Yeah, true that. But you get what I'm saying, though. You can't call a game trash because you can't get through the game.
Yeah, exactly.
That's
please. Hold on, sorry. I just want to address something in the chat real quick.
ahead.
Please don't make fun of Jordan, man. He's got a muscle deficiency problem, so don't make fun of Jordan, man. He's old. He's like, how old are you now, Jordan? Like 24 now?
25. I just
25. See, he's 25, man. He can't help it because he has a muscle deficiency disease. So please do not make fun of him in the chat, please.
Yeah, I thought he was a kid at first.
No.
My bad.
No.
It happens.
Yeah,
that's why I get mad when they say disabled people do things because of video games. No, they don't.
Yeah.
No, they don't.
Yo.
And Jordan Dizzle is one of them as proof. Now, he ain't going out there hurting nobody, messing with nobody. He ain't doing shit to nobody. Okay? He just got an issue, and people need to leave him alone.
Man, just drop it, Joe. Don't nobody know.
Yeah.
Let's move on.
I was just saying that in general, so people know.
I appreciate that. I appreciate that.
I've been getting a lot of that, and it just. I wish people would back off trolling me and all that because it really. It really.
No, Jordan. Wait, stop. Don't mean to cut you off, but please don't say the next words because that right there is just going to invite more people.
Okay.
I'll explain to you after the podcast, but just stop right there and we'll just continue on because I don't mean to cut you off, but I want to explain that to you because you might not understand something, but I just want to do it off air.
Right.
By the way, everybody, happy belated birthday to Jordan. It was his birthday last week, and he didn't make it. I didn't get him on a podcast last week, which I wanted to, but we didn't. But happy belated birthday, Jordan.
Well, it's in January, so thank you. 2 months ago.
Yeah, happy birthday, man.
Happy birthday.
Yeah, happy late birthday, buddy.
You're welcome. I'm getting a PS4 pretty soon in March.
Well, there you go.
Yeah, that's cool.
You go for it, and you're gonna kill those games, right, Jordan?
Yeah, definitely.
Of course you are.
I mean,
of course you are.
I've been waiting for one. I'm kind of worn out by Pokemon a bit. So yeah, I'm definitely looking forward to playing some games on the PS4 because especially with my friends because it'll be much fun to do that.
Yeah.
Well, Jordan, any game you got that you want to play, you hit me up, and if I got it, we'll play it.
Okay, but I mean, I'm up for it.
I know you are.
I
know you are.
I might do some live streams.
Do it.
Hey,
bring it out. Bring it out.
Yeah, have fun.
Hey, I will do that because I feel passionate about it.
There you go. That's what's up.
That shit.
But that's how I feel.
If it's in your heart, just do that shit.
But Jordan, you've always been. I've known you for a while now.
Yeah.
A long while now. You've always been passionate about gaming. Yeah. That was your one thing. And you know what? You know him too, Bear. So he's always been passionate about gaming, and he keeps it. He does keep it real. He does keep it real. Okay. He doesn't sugarcoat shit. He doesn't do any of that. And people pick on him for no good reason, but because he got a disability, so that's why they pick on him. And I can't stand that shit, and I want to smack the shit out of people.
That's what I was just saying in general. I wasn't pointing out what people were saying in the chat because they weren't making fun of him in the chat. I was just letting people know before he actually spoke, because that happens all the time. And he's been on a lot of podcasts with me and One Stopper back in the day, and everybody used to always pick on the poor little guy. So I just wanted to throw that out there just to let everybody know in general.
Yeah.
Yeah, and Jordan, I'll have that talk with you after we get off the air. So, because.
Yeah, it's fine.
Come on, bitch, give me a fucking car, goddammit. God damn it.
All right. What are you playing now that you yelling at the goddamn screen?
Up here in Canada, we have a restaurant. It's called Tim Hortons. I'm sure some of you guys have heard that in the States. Well, they have this thing that starts every middle of February till pretty much, I think, the end of March called Roll Up the Rim. And you roll it up and you can win like food and gift certificates and freaking prepaid cards and also a car.
Oh, you ain't getting nothing.
Jack fucking shit. Goddamn shit's a scam.
All right. That was my last subject. Does anybody have anything they want to bring up before we do outros?
Yeah, I got one thing real quick.
All right, go ahead.
I like
Go
to say,
Frozen.
I like to say that everyone that has said the Switch wasn't going to win January MPD because it didn't have a major game. You can eat that crow.
Yo, I didn't say shit about that, dude. The Switch.
No. I got screenshots, but I'm not going to do it. I don't do that.
Yeah, you were right. I did see people on Twitter saying that, dude, especially
because it didn't have Monster Hunter. All the people saying, "Ha, I'm glad Nintendo doesn't have Monster Hunter." Like people like that. Like, how'd that work out for you?
You know what's crazy though, right?
I'm just glad they released it so it can come on the other consoles too.
Right. Now here's the thing.
I got tired of playing it on a freaking tiny screen.
Here's the crazy thing about the Switch, right? The Switch did something that the Wii U took almost 5 years to fucking do.
Yeah.
In fact, actually, the Switch it hasn't even been a full year. It's gonna be a full year next month on the 3rd.
Yeah,
and it's already outselling the Wii U.
Yeah,
but on top of that too, as well, it's already halfway to what Microsoft has done in fucking 4.5.
Yeah.
Like, holy fuck, man!
And you know what's genius? They combine both of the freaking
Did I hurt your ears on that one there, Titan? I'm sorry. My bad.
Oh, my bad. I'm sorry for cutting you.
No, all I said was ouch, which what you guys said.
Oh.
Okay.
Now, of course. Well, hold on. 1 second there, Jeremy. Let me just add this. I know people are going to tell me, like, well, yeah, but you can't really count that, though, because the Switch is a ninth gen console. Doesn't matter. It doesn't matter.
Come on.
Like, the fact is that a console that does less power than the Xbox One has more fucking units, half the amount of units within less than a year than what Microsoft has.
It's a hybrid.
Within 4 fucking years, dude. Like, come on, bro. That's a problem.
You know what? You got all these people saying you need to do this. You need to have online. You need to have part. It has nothing of that, and it's still selling.
Yeah. Exactly.
Please explain to me. Yeah, that stuff is important, but it doesn't have any of that, and it's still doing well.
So the biggest question remains is now what Nintendo or what the Switch is doing is proven that power was never a thing.
Yeah,
and
that was kind of a gimmick or a shtick that people wanted to use to gloat about which console's better.
Yeah.
And it's probably like the best device to play indies on because on several platforms, indies sales combined, the Switch sales seem to overcome them.
Thank you, Savage.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Jordan. Go ahead, Jordan.
All right. So Nintendo did something that, that I appreciate. They combined both of their console and portable market. Because you know how their portable market, like, sales go through the roof, right?
Yep.
It's a genius plan to go out and make this console both portable and a console at the same freaking time. That taps into both markets. Plus the new Pokemon games coming out on there. So that's going to sell massive. And that will help the Switch.
Look at that game I put in the chat.
All right, well, a second. When Pokemon drops on the Switch, that system, man, is going to be fucking rocketeering off the shelves, bro. I'm telling you.
Yeah. Exactly.
That's Nintendo's that's their console selling.
Yeah, that's
Mario and Zelda.
Yeah. I think Pokemon sells. I think Pokemon could sell more units than Mario can. I think
it does. Both better than Mario and Zelda.
Zelda really mainly sells mostly in North America, but hardly in Japan. Same with Metroid. Like I heard somebody say, hold on, Jordan. I heard somebody say that like Metroid Prime 4 is going to sell 6 million. And I'm like, ha! What? How? Like no.
It's just Nintendo has that, that recognition. Nintendo has, those IPs that everybody loves that, from their childhood at least played and, and still enjoy them to this day.
Yep.
Yeah.
I mean, Nintendo has shown that they could still make games.
People don't like kitty games, though. That's what somebody told me.
God, hearing that fucking word, dude.
I just don't like Nintendo games.
We got another Nintendo night.
At least you're honest, though, fucking Rambo.
Yeah,
at least you're honest.
I quit liking Nintendo after the NES. I went straight Sega, and I never looked back, and I just can't stand
Oh, so
Nintendo.
you're a Sega master. Okay, I see how it is.
He's a Sonic guy.
Look, as much as people give flack to Sega all the time for like having like the Saturn being a flop and the Dreamcast being a flop, fuck that noise, man. The Dreamcast is the most underrated console that I've ever fucking had a luxury of. That console was
and anybody that does and everybody that does like where Sega went wrong always say that the Saturn and not the Saturn, but the Dreamcast was the fucking best.
No,
So
the
the only
Dreamcast was ahead of its fucking time.
Yeah, the only reason they went
Yeah,
wrong
it was
with the
way
Dreamcast,
ahead.
Yeah, the only reason they went wrong with the Dreamcast is because they just introduced something to the world too early.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
online. Yeah, online.
Yeah.
Was
Because
well.
that's what had
charged for
Fantasy Star Online. I bought Fantasy Star Online on the Dreamcast.
Really?
And that
Fantasy. You know, even to this day, no word of a lie. To this day, people are still playing Star Ocean on fucking Star Ocean, Fantasy Star on Dreamcast to this fucking day.
Really?
Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah.
That's insane.
Somebody set up their own servers so people can get on.
Yep,
that's crazy.
I still have my Dreamcast.
That's freaking crazy, man. That is. But I mean, like what Sega did for the Dreamcast at the time, dude, man. Like those little MU cards, those I forget what they're called, but MTU cards. There, you plop in your controller. Dude, when you played like NFL 2K on that shit, dude, man, like you can only see the actual fucking the plays on that card, so nobody else can see what you're picking.
Really?
That was genius, dude.
Yeah, I used to play that. That was the last time I played any NFL game.
I disagree with you on that, Frozen, but I can respect your opinion on that.
But see, Frozen, well, Frozen, whenever it comes to like the cartoon thing or whatever like that, I don't mind cartoon games because I like Mac and I like the Super Lucky's Tale and different like voodoo events and shit like that. The only problem I ever have is that with Nintendo, if that's your primary, which I don't know who actually makes Nintendo their primary.
A lot of people you'd be surprised, Rambo. You'd be surprised.
The problem I have with Nintendo is that that's all you get. Like for the most part, that's all you get is cartoon games. Like you, it's almost like whereas like with PlayStation and Xbox, you'll get a cartoon game, but you'll get like the more like Uncharted and the Halos and stuff like that. But like the Halos and Uncharted are like this far and few between on the Nintendo platform, where like the Mario the cartoon world and stuff are basically all you see, and that's I just get tired of that.
Yeah, no, I can see where you're coming from on that, Rambo. Because to be honest, Mario, like Nintendo themselves will never make like a game.
Oh yeah,
dark and gritty. I mean, unless you want to count Twilight Princess, but fuck that game. But the thing is, for me personally, I mean, like there has been games that Nintendo does publish though that a lot of people were shocked by. You know what I mean? Like you look at games like Geist that was on GameCube. You remember that shit?
Yeah,
Mad World, that that was.
Yeah, I'm not saying that they never have, but I mean the thing is.
Yeah, but as far as like the development team from within Nintendo, yeah, you're never gonna see that.
It's just not a normal thing for them to have that. So I mean, it just. I don't know. I mean that's the one reason why I can that, and I'm just tired. People were asking like on Twitter, who has the most milked franchises, and they were only listing PlayStation and Xbox, and I'm like going, there's nobody worse at milking a franchise than Nintendo.
But you know, okay. If I can, someone play devil's advocate with that, you are right. But every game,
I mean, it sells. Yeah, I'm not saying it doesn't sell and it doesn't do well. But I mean, you can only put the name Mario in a title so many times before I would
say they milked the character. I would say they milked the character.
They milked Mario's name.
Yeah, they milked Mario's name for sure. But I mean, in a way that kind of makes sense. I mean, it's Nintendo's
it sells for them. Well, it sells for them. It sells. I mean,
that's why they do it. That's why they do it.
Yeah, I mean, I understand why they do it. It's just for me personally as a gamer, I've gotten tired of it. I've had every Nintendo system, but I've grown tired.
Yeah, I can see where you're coming from. That
I've moved on as a gamer, and I won't begrudge anybody for like saying Nintendo games are good or whatever. They're just not good for me.
And that's what's important. You say for you, not for everybody else, and that's what's important.
Oh, yeah.
I want to say something. I want to see if I want to bring something up real quick because I don't know if Jordan or Barry remembers this, but do you remember us way back when we were on Poppy's podcast together?
Yes.
All three of us?
I think that was the first show that I met you, I believe, if I'm not mistaken.
Yep. With Jordan too.
Mm-hmm. I remember that.
It was nice. Do you remember that, Jordan?
I think Jordan lagged. I think he lagged out. He was using his phone.
Oh.
Yeah, I remember that show with clarity because that was an actual positive podcast at the time.
Yes. We had a nice podcast.
There was no making fun of people. It was just a relaxing, good, conversation, and that's what we had. You know what I mean? That's what I like about these podcasts, man. Like, you know what I mean? I feel welcome on these shows because I don't get judged for the shit that I play. Outside from the people in the chat, but I know the people that do poke fun of me for certain games.
Listen, Listen, I don't give. Excuse me, I don't give a flying. Let me be nice. Hoot. What you play? I was going to say something else, but I don't get. As long as you game, you are welcome on this podcast.
You know, it's funny that you say that.
It don't matter what you play. I don't care if you play on PlayStation, Nintendo, PC, Xbox. I don't really care. I don't care what you play on. If you can game and talk about gaming, and be objective about it, guess what? You're welcome here on this podcast, even as a guest.
I will say so far, you're the only person, Titan, that has not poked fun at me for my love for No Man's Sky. You're the only person that I've met on here so far that has not took cheap shots at me about that shit. Well, no. Hold on.
Wait. I never said anything about it. Well, you know what? You like No Man's Sky.
I never said anything.
No Man's Sky disappointed me. I don't knock anybody that love it now, but it disappointed the hell.
It disappointed me too. Yeah.
Oh my God. Because I bought it even with all the negativity everybody was giving it before it came out. I still bought it to give it the benefit of the doubt, and I was into it for the first 2 days, and I just couldn't do it.
But the point is, I think outside from you, Titan, I think Frozen hasn't never ever said anything to me about playing that game, and I think Craig also did too.
I criticized you on playing Mass Effect.
Yeah, I bought it. Midnight.
Mass Effect is different now. Now I will agree with that.
Craig,
Craig Frozen went off on me about that shit, which is hilarious.
Well, you take a lot of shit in the community no one else does. Like when it comes to games you play, like
of course you do.
Because you would be out there and you'll play.
Like the thing that bothers me the most, though, man. Like I don't care if you make fun of me for.
I'm just playing around though. Like I ain't.
No. That's not an issue for me. The issue that I have is when like people that don't know me, and if I bring that topic up or if I mention that game or somebody pokes fun at me in the chat for liking that game, then they follow suit on that. I like the fact when people discredit my opinion or my thoughts about certain things because of that one game, but yet never ever acknowledge any other game that I play on any of these platforms, like Horizon or the Uncharted or Last of Us or whatever you want to call it. No. They completely ignore all that, but just always go after that one game because of how much love I have for that fucking game.
Or like when you were getting death threats for the Horizon clip you uploaded.
But here's the thing, though. Here's the funny thing, was I wrong on that, though? Because that wasn't the fucking full-ass release.
Yeah.
Remember all those comments? Yo, yeah, believe it or not, folks, man, there was a video that I uploaded just to take the piss out of the fucking people for when Horizon was coming out. Everybody bitched at me, man. It was a scene that was in the game, and the acting was fucking horrendously bad. And I told people, and I said, yo, I was just taking cheap shots, right? People in the comment section were leaving me death threats, and whatever the case would be, saying that it was alpha footage. The full game comes out 2 weeks later. That shit was the exact fucking same shit. So all those people that sat there and gave me death threats and saying that it was fucking alpha footage, man, can suck my dick.
Damn.
So, I apologize.
You heard it here first on News Center 10.
I have a little bit of fun with people. I troll people a lot with certain games, but I do it just to have the fucking fun factor of it because everybody fucking pokes fucking shots at me for every game that I play. Literally.
But see, Bear, that's what Bear people don't get. People don't get.
And they never will get it.
This is all about having fun. They won't get it. It's about having fun. It's not life. It's just having fun, enjoying your game. And if somebody don't like your game, oh well. But you know what? You can go back and forth with each other and be indifferent, and that's still should be okay without anybody getting serious.
I don't listen to nothing anybody says in these forums or on these Facebook groups because I'm gonna buy what I want to buy because it interests me.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly. Thank you. I'm glad
what I buy and what I eat don't make that other person shit. So I don't know why they worried about what I spend my money on.
But that's the thing. Your money and it comes out of your pocket. And that's one of the things I said on my last video I did. Why do people care what somebody else plays and what they pay for? As long as they're gaming and they say shit about gaming, why does it matter to you?
But now here's the kicker, right? Here's the kicker, though.
You know why it matters? Wait. You know why it matters? Because they ain't got a life and they can't play the games because maybe they ain't got no money. Live in mommy's attic or basement, and mommy and daddy only give them so much allowance, so they can't do shit.
Speaking of life, I gotta go. You know what I'm saying? It's about to be 9 o'clock. Thank you,
everybody. It was a privilege, buddy. Nice talking to you again.
Corleone, do your outro before you go.
Next week,
shout out to everybody on the panel. Thank you guys that are listening and supporting. Make sure you hit that like button and share it. And we'll see you guys next week. Play your games and enjoy yourself. I'm holla at y'all, man. Peace.
Peace.
All right, man.
Before we end this, though, real quick, there's one thing I just want to throw out there real quick, and it's funny because when I proved to people about this, man, they shut their fucking pie holes and never make fun of me and never talk to me again about No Man's Sky. Here's the thing.
I know what you're going to say.
Destiny 1 is a prime example of what exactly, not to the full extent, thing. Go back and watch early acts fucking promo videos, dev diaries on Destiny 1, and look at how much content was cut out of that fucking game that Bungie promised to you. And what happened with that game? Sold like fucking God only knows how many fucking millions of units. Game got praised by a lot of people that still play to this very given day who are now playing this shitty ass sequel. The best of all, you supported a game with a company that fucking outright lied to you. So you're gonna sit here and make fun of me for fucking playing a game where fucking Hello Games, an indie developer, fucking got lied about their shit, and they did. Hold a goddamn higher company to the same standards, fuckwits. Period. Fuck off with that bullshit.
And they want Activision to get Star Wars. How sad.
That's fucking disgusting.
Yeah.
Sure. I got something real quick.
Go ahead, Quatarius.
Can you guys explain to me what you guys think is a remake and what is a remaster? Because in my opinion, a remake is like Final Fantasy VII.
Yep.
It's telling you you're doing the same story. You're doing the same story, but you're getting it from a different perspective, more like a third person beat 'em up now, or like Secret of Mana, the remake of Secret of Mana,
or Shadow
now
Colossus.
No. I don't think Shadow. I can't say that with Shadow Colossus because the core gameplay did not change. All they did was
the gameplay's not changing in the other.
What are you talking about? Yes, it is. Well, probably not Secret of Mana. Final Fantasy VII Remake? It's not a completely different game now?
Yeah, it's Kingdom Hearts now.
Fuck that game.
You're getting a totally different perspective outlook on that game now.
Yeah, but I mean, Secret of Mana is just
well, yeah, it was a sprite game, but now it's totally different from the sprite game. I mean, it's still turn-based. They got voice actors in it now. It's totally different from where it used to be.
It's action-based.
But Shadow of the Colossus is just because it was
Shadow of the Colossus is
they did
remaster. Crash Bandicoot.
I see
more remaster than remake in that game.
I say you go by I say you go by whatever the developer says because everybody's saying stuff is just confusing everyone. Like
and they say remaster, and they say remaster.
Like the Crash Bandicoot thing, everybody was saying
that's a remaster
because they said it was from the ground up and they redid the engine, but on the box it says remastered. So
yeah, it's a remaster. That's what I'm saying. A lot of people are confused about that.
The term remake hasn't been a popular term as far as popularized term to put like on a packaging. But I would say that if you're building it from the ground up, that would be a remake.
But the core didn't. But the core gameplay didn't change. Is what I'm saying. So it's not really a remake. They didn't have any choice but to put it on a different engine.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is like Shadow Colossus, your controls did change.
Yeah,
I couldn't hear you. You broke up a little bit. I couldn't hear you.
Your controls changed in Shadow of the Colossus.
What do you mean?
Well, you like size as well.
Yeah, you were pressing X. You're now pressing X to jump and I mean different mechanics as far as that goes. You can revert back to the old one if you want to, but you can actually it's more, I guess, up to date. when it comes to how you jump and as far as controls of today than what it was in the PS2 era. I think you use like R1 back in the PS2 era.
That's button match. That's button match. That's not the core gameplay though. The core gameplay is still the same.
Is what I'm saying. Uncharted. Look at Uncharted 1, 2, and 3. Those are remastered. They took the same.
I would consider those different remasters.
What about the Master Chief Collection? Would you consider that?
No, it's not a remake. It's a remaster. Even though they put 1 and 2 on totally updated engines.
Yeah, they did update the engine,
I would say they
technically, but it's the same game. So
yeah, it's the same game.
Here, I'll give you an example. Resident Evil 1 on PS1 and Resident Evil Remake on GameCube.
Exactly.
That's a prime example of a remake. Now, Resident Evil 4, when that game came out on 50 million fucking platforms, that's a remaster, not a remake.
No, those are ports.
Yeah, that was a port.
Well, when Resident Evil jumped to the HD era, they just upscaled it and made the textures look a lot better on like the PS2 graphics that made it look like goddamn garbage. But whatever, that's besides the point. But the game PS2 had more content, bitch. I don't give a fuck if that game looked had whatever you want to call it. Fuck that game.
Listen, guys, we're gonna cut this podcast off. We're over 2 hours now, which I didn't think we were gonna do.
Yeah, time goes by.
Yeah, no.
Yeah, and I gotta go in this. I gotta go in this truck stop and get me something to eat.
You gotta go truck stop, and I know Rambo's gotta get on another podcast.
Oh yeah.
Let's start this out. So we'll start out with Rambo. Go ahead.
Guys, just like I said, y'all can come follow me at Rambo's Corner on Twitter if you want my handles for you need to come join me there. You're all listed in my on my Twitter. Other than that, you follow me on YouTube. I'm going to start uploading video content again because I'm actually just not getting back into it.
Nice.
So you can definitely go back and subscribe to there if you want to. And other than that, we'll see y'all later, man.
All right, Cortavius, you go ahead.
What's up, everybody? Killer Tay 229. Add me on Xbox, PlayStation, or PC. I'm down to play games. I'll be home tomorrow night, so anybody that wants to get in and talk games, we can do that on Xbox because my homeboy wants to get on that Monster Hunter. So other than that, like, subscribe, and see y'all later.
Hey, go have some good food. Frozen, go ahead.
Yeah, great show. We'll start doing some videos. Yeah, I might do one right now after the podcast. So yeah. I'll talk about the MPDs because some people deserve some
fucking numbers, man.
You got numbers, don't lie.
That is true.
Oh yeah, and Kingdom Hearts is not a good game.
Do what you gotta do, Frozen.
Kingdom Hearts is not a good game. I'm sorry.
Hey, damn.
Blasphemy. That is pure blasphemy.
All right. But no, Frozen, you do what you got to do. Craig, go ahead.
Yeah, it's Craig Harris. Appreciate you all having me on. Great panel, good discussion. Hopefully we'll see you guys next week.
All right. And next up, but last, we got Fatal. Bear Hugger.
Thank you so much, Titan, for having me. I'm your boy, Fatal motherfucking Mephisto. Thanks for having me on your show again. And I am now labeling myself as the true messiah of Xbox. Fuck you, Craig. No, I'm playing. I'm totally playing. But thanks for having me on your show, man. It was phenomenal. I loved it. Thank you so much.
What are you saying? Thank you. You're a member of the podcast.
Oh, wait, that's right. I forgot. Yeah, I forgot about that. We talked about that last week. Duh.
I'm
sorry. I had a ginger moment.
Oh, part of the podcast. Duh.
I had a ginger
brain part.
I had a ginger moment.
Yeah. He had one too many cigarettes. He needs to stop smoking. But anyway, this is a Titanfall Princess. But before I leave, I want to tell everybody we're probably going to go back to Thursdays. Okay. So everybody watching, look for us on Thursdays between 7 and 8 o'clock. I'm going to discuss it with the panel, see what's best for them and see what's best for us. But between 7 and 8 on Thursdays. Next week is going to be Thursday. It's better for everybody. I think it's better Friday. People want to go out with their families and do what they got to do. So I will update everybody. Check out my channel. You know how to find me on Facebook, Twitter, YouTube. You know where to find me. It's Titanfall Princess. I'm signing out. And do me a favor. hit that like button. And you know why? Because y'all love me. Later.
Peace.